Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with, and this is a reality. Now, when we come to Washington in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
I remember when the ATL wasn't banging, now they banging. Niggas throwing sets and them bullets start ringing, bitches banging. I remember when the ATL wasn't banging, now they banging. Niggas throwing sets and them bullets start ringing like bang, bang, oh, bang, bang, bitch, nigga, bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, about to have me some Duckton. What the f? What the heck? What did he go? I had my mouth. What the f?
He's sleeping now. Because they want to get him good and strong. So a little before debate time, he gets a shot in the ass.
First things first, in this lame duck session.
My administration has accomplished more than almost any administration in the history of our country. America's so true. Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
You're trying your best, but it never feels like enough.
I started having second thoughts almost the moment I sat down on the plane.
Lights off! Off! Turn them off. They're too bright. Turn them off. Turn them off. Let's go. Ready? Turn.
We go back a long way. She was 12, I was 30, but anyway.
So I changed my return flight and flew back on the first available flight I could take.
I'm sick and tired of smart guys.
I'm sick and tired of ordinary people being fleeced.
I'm tired of being quiet.
I'm sick and tired. I'm just sick and tired. We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
With great power comes great responsibility.
You want to see a bird graveyard? You just go. Take a look. A bird graveyard? Go under a windmill someday. You'll see more birds than you've ever seen ever in your life.
Tonight, we find out who is this week's trash bag human of the week in tonight's Lame Duck. TFP presents the Lame Duck Session.
That you asked for fun.
You talking choppers, you getting right. You wanna blow with the dope every night.
Said he wanted some scratch, so he took him on life.
Say you wanna get paid, you wanna be right.
He team 4K got slapped with
Walking down,
pipe.
still got on these shades, even though it ain't night. Cause they little pink pills too hard. Let's go on a SRT with a Draco tight. Got a little boy way, can't sleep at night.
You fuck all that hoe. I was just broken, I didn't have a friend, so I went in the trap and I sold me some dope.
Let's
for
go.
real.
Poppin' purse, make her suck dick for an hour, get to work. I told the bitch to get nasty for double. She bought her best friend, they for each other. Okay, for me, make her fuck my brother. Got a team full of players, free band, no struggle.
Big 4K down to the door.
Might get in there, mo, go dig with shovel. Break out the chopstick, hit on wherever. Broad daylight, bitch, I'ma get on wherever. Let's go, double O walk on this bitch, but I like to talk on this bitch.
Hold on.
Perkins said walk on this bitch, then Perkins said talk on this bitch.
Hold on.
I just be geeking out drugs, taking all kinds of shit. Bitch wanna fuck, she fine, you see all kind of bitch.
Running through this, I don't care about shit. The world one time, though. Rich little man got shot, you slide, little boy, you a bitch. 15 ball, one play on me.
Bless, Leif, Clems. Ring cat in the building with the tape fist tight. Ricardo on the mic, yeah, he's spitting that fight. Mike is right with the vision so clear. Political prophet dropping truth in your ear. Progressive moves, but we keeping it raw. Individual minds breaking every damn law. Social conservatism got the crowd in a trance. Tape fist politics, we advance in the stands. Put your tape fist in the air, let it rise. Feel the power of the truth in your eyes. From the left to the right, we unite. Tape fist politics gonna shine so bright. MD20 in the cut with the plan. Building up the movement with a taped up hand. Progressive dreams in a conservative frame. Individual voices calling out every name. Progressive moves, but we keeping it raw. Individual minds breaking every damn law. Social conservatism got the crowd in a trance. Take fist politics, we advance in the stance. Once you take fist in the air, let it rise. Feel the power of the truth in your eyes. From the left to the right, we unite. Take fist politics, gonna shine so bright.
New golden age. New golden age. A new golden age. A new golden age.
In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
This thing is so laggy, man. I don't know what's going on with my hotspot. Peace, what's going on? What's happening? Can everybody hear me?
We can hear you, MD. Just a little bit of breaking up.
Yeah. I might have to switch over to my secondary hotspot, man. This shit is ridiculous. I don't know why I'm paying for this. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I pay for. I'll show you. So I got a hotspot. I done had this thing for. Well, this is my second one. It's a mobile hotspot. I done had it for a couple of years now. I don't know. I'm not gonna keep buying new hotspots. The other one that I had, it pooped out on me. So they said, yeah, you get a upgrade or whatever. I said, okay, cool. Got the same one. I had this one, like I said, maybe a year and a half. And I'm like, what the hell is going on, man? Like everywhere I go, I'm choppy. I got to use my phone. That's some bullshit. I'm not paying for no service if I ain't getting it. I'm sick of this, man.
Yeah, that's true. That sounds like capitalism, baby.
Yeah, you're right. It is capitalism. And what I say, everything is a market. Matter of fact, hold on. You don't know who you're talking to right now. Everything is a market. Everything is a market. That means if I'm unsatisfied with the service, guess what I can do? Leave. That's just what it is. So never fear. Capitalism is here. I got to answer for everything. Money related. So but let me introduce. So Black News. Lady Che is gonna be tonight. So shout out to and Jesse. I guess
he's over there.
I guess Jesse will be shortly.
Yeah, he's coming. He's just over there arguing on a different platform. I was over there for a minute. Yeah, it's really ugly over there. So I was over there for a minute. it got I don't say I lost myself, but I appreciate everybody talking to me or talking about me like, because of the way I look. You know what I mean? So I'm standing on what I'm standing on. So I felt
Hold
like
on, let
I
me
did
ask
my
let
best.
me ask you. Let me
Mm-hmm.
ask you real quick. What
Oh,
channel he on right now?
he on uh the Titans League of something or other. He's on Frontline Black News. You can
Oh.
see about Frontline Black News. That's right now going
Oh, okay.
live.
Oh, he
Over
live
there.
right now. He live right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're over there arguing
I
about
bet.
genetics and dude said dude claiming my racial makeup or whatever. I've never been to that platform. We had him on our platform, and gave him an opportunity to come over and introduce himself, whatever. So I went over there. I was just trying to see what Jesse was on, and I saw, I heard they were talking about something, and I saw Jesse was on there. So I was over there following around, and I was like, oh no, this is conversation just needed, tap in. It was talking obviously about DNA tests and I don't know what else. And as soon as I, I opened up, I introduced myself, explained a little bit about what we do, what I do, who I am, where, signal boost, woo. And immediately I don't know, one of the dudes, immediately was like,
So
cause
so in
I'm not black.
synopsis, are they trying
Yeah.
to say you're not black?
Yeah.
Okay,
Because of the way I
hey,
look.
that's gonna be a yeah, that's fine. That's gonna
Yeah.
be a segue because we finna get ready to get into the show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I came over
that's
here just
actually
to
a great
represent them.
segue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
fine. Fine. That's gonna be a great segue into today's because we're
Yeah.
talking about black culture.
Yeah.
Now, black culture is
I'm like,
defined in a lot of different ways, and I'm gonna mute out real quick. Black culture is defined in a lot of different ways, right?
Breaking up,
Hopefully we
MD.
get check. All right, give me a second, man. I'm about to switch over. This is some bullshit. I'm about to get pissed off, like for real. After I get off with y'all tonight, I'm calling Verizon. This is some bullshit. Hold on, give me a second. I'm switching over right now.
well, good to see you too, brother. We'll just talk while we get it together.
How you doing? How you doing
I'm all
tonight?
right, man. I feel like it must be like shit on the doll day. But I've been taking it like a champ fighting back.
That's right. That's right.
I'm just holding it down till Jesse get in here. And, because we were supposed to be over here. And I was like, man, I
Is
can
he
only take so much. I had to give
is
it
he
back.
coming on? Is he
Yeah,
coming
he's
on
coming.
tonight?
Yeah, he gonna come. He's just over there arguing points, and I had to excuse myself since I don't know how to control myself. And there, you can't tell me to acknowledge something I never knew. So I tried. I did my best. I'm gonna say I did my best, and there's nothing wrong with me. Shit, there's nothing wrong with
All
me.
right,
I'm
can you
okay.
hear me now? Is that
Oh
Yes,
better?
sir.
yeah, you're good.
I'm gonna be
You're
on you
good,
now.
MD.
Yeah, that's I can't fathom the fact that I got a standalone and like I said, this is a sidebar. I apologize. I can't fathom I got a standalone mobile hotspot that's specifically there to provide internet. The shit don't work, but my phone worked flawlessly. I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't, this shit is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? I'll stop by the Verizon store when I get home and I'll throw this shit to y'all from out the car back into the damn store. And y'all can have it. Take the shit off my bill. Take the shit off my bill. If all I might be able to use is my phone, what's the point? But anyway, let me not get sidetracked. So tonight, we're talking about black culture. And what Lady Che just described is in essence what we're gonna talk about tonight. Now, it's no point in me asking y'all what black culture is. We should already know what black culture is, right? But how is it provided to the populace? How is it, I guess you would say, distributed? Can it be gate kept? All these questions right here we're gonna ask. Now, I guess we'll get Ricardo later. I know he be at work. But I was interested to see what Mike be slacking, man. I don't know what's going on with him. I know he work overnight sometimes as well. But this gonna be an interesting discussion tonight, and we gonna try to figure out some things. So without further ado, we just gonna go straight into the lead story, and then we gonna have a serious discussion. I'll see y'all on the other end.
African Americans in this country are the only groups. They have no culture. It depends on who you meet, where you meet them.
But currently there's not an African American culture?
No.
Yes, there is.
What is it? Name 2 value systems in the African American culture.
Value system?
Yes. Name 2 taboos in the African American culture system. Name 2 traditions, by the way, in the African American culture system. There is no value for freedom if you don't understand what it is. The concept of free. You have to have a foundation on which it would balance when you ask for it. Civil right, they give it to you. You have no culture. Nancy, you've been here, born here. Why would you be surprised if I say African Americans don't have a culture? What, twerking? So anything
but I feel like African American culture has definitely
you say
mainstream.
No, you say the word, the African American culture. What is it? Okay, fine.
Like hip hop.
Oh,
not hip hop. I mean, I don't want to. Yes, I feel like
you haven't thought about it. It's fine. Don't make things up.
I'm not making it up.
Okay,
I feel like
then educate me. You feel. You should know. You were born and raised here.
Yes, but I have a.
Are you African American?
I'm Haitian American.
That's correct. Do you see why you were being specific with that? Because anybody who encounters you already knows you before. If they know you are Haitian, at least 2 things comes to their mind.
What is that?
If they've been to Haiti, they can look at work ethics and they say, yes, Haitians, I know them. Service industry, they know where they do well. Food, they can say yes. And even language, Creole.
Right.
And they can say, oh, I love Haitians. Mm-hmm. Because they saw the culture in abstract before they encountered you. Mm-hmm. So people go over the bridge of your culture, your tradition, your customs, and that helps them to know how to
address it.
Exactly. I'm saying to you, any people who ask for these things, which are abstract, freedom, for example, independence, for example, and civil rights, for example, voting rights, for example, you must have a foundation on which these things are going to balance. Because the people there have to uniformly agree with consensus. This is our way of life. The do's and the don'ts involved in our culture. Even if you have to create an artificial culture.
Is that why the civil rights movement is considered dead?
It's dead and useless. They got it, but they could not balance it on any foundation.
On my mods, who are not cultured at all. Like, when I'm asking general questions, I'm not asking y'all, stop body. That is black. You're black! You're just black! Bro, you're just fully American. You're African American, bro. That's it! You're black. You're not Trinidadian. You're not Jamaican. You're not African. You're not. Word! You're not Ghanaian. You're not Dominican. You're not Puerto Rican. You're not Cuban.
Now everything that I'm about to say, if it don't apply, let it fly. But if the shoe fit, then I hope that bitch comfortable. Saying that black Americans don't got no culture is crazy. This the definition of culture. Either I can't fucking read, or black Americans got the culture. The food that we eat, the music that we created, rock and roll, R&B, rap, pop, everything else, we can get into it. The clothes that we wear, the style that we wear, the style that you Castanet copy. Last time I checked, this right here, that's not from Haitian culture. All of these right here, none of that is from Haitian culture, and Jamaican culture, and Caribbean culture, where you come from. That's all black American culture. So while you say we don't have no culture, but you over here using our language, speaking like us, using our verbal forms of communication, saying nigga, listening to our music, dressing like us, copying the style, and cosplaying as one of us. The reason why you successful is acting like a black American. If we don't have a culture, then why you get it popping back over in Haiti? Because you
Mr. Zanu. See, Mr. Zanu, you're obviously an intelligent fellow, but it's comments like yours that fuel diaspora wars. It's comments like yours that make work like mine frustrating. Because respectfully, you're being intellectually naive, either because you don't want to do the research, or you simply don't want to. You said African Americans can't handle freedom or civil rights because they have no cultural foundation. You said they have no culture. You said they have no taboos, nothing to balance it out. So let me offer you some clarity before you confuse displacement with deficiency. First, I think the question is dishonest. You don't strip people of their land, language, names, gods, and memory, then complain that they can't trace their lineage back to 1462. African Americans didn't lose culture. They forged one in fire. So Mr. Zanu, here are just some of the values in African American culture. 1. Resilience, the culture DNA of survival. From slavery to Jim Crow to mass incarceration, they didn't just endure, they built. 2. Collective uplift, each one teach one. From the church to the block, the goal is always bring your people with you. 3. Self-determination, ask Garvey, ask Malcolm X, ask Black Wall Street. Even in chains, there was always the instinct to self-govern. 4. Respect for elders. Yes, ma'am. No, sir. Big mama. Uncle, even if we are not related. Don't get it twisted. That's ancestral. 5. Faith and spiritual power, whether through Christianity, Islam, ancestral reverence, or Yoruba revival. Spirituality is core. 6. Creativity as resistance. Music, dance, style, slang. African Americans turned rhythm and rhyme into shields and swords. 7. Kinship beyond blood. Play cousins, aunties who aren't biological. Because when the system breaks the family, community steps in. 8. Justice and fairness. From civil rights to Ferguson to George Floyd, African Americans don't stop fighting for the oppressed. And then we move on to taboos. Yes, African Americans have taboos too. Plenty. 1. Disrespecting elders, whether you're 5 or 45. Disrespect an elder and you'll feel the culture. 2. Snitching. Beyond street code, it's rooted in survival. If the system wasn't built for you, you don't feed it. 3. Public family shame. Don't air dirty laundry. You protect the house even when it's messy. 4. Coping without credit. Biting someone else's style without acknowledgement. That's a cultural sin. 5. Playing with ancestors. Even non-religious black folk will not speak lightly of the dead or the struggle. That's reverence right there. 6. Selling out. From Uncle Toms to Coons, betraying your people is not just frowned upon, it's named and remembered. 7. Letting the culture die, whether it's jazz, soul food, or the electric slide at a wedding, you carry it forward. So let's be honest, what you're witnessing is not a people with no culture. It's a people who had their culture ripped apart and built another one in a land that never loved them. What you call lack of foundation is actually unrecognized brilliance, because African American culture isn't just about remembering where you come from. It's about reinventing where you can go. And let's be clear, African Americans aren't confused about freedom. They are the reason you get to speak freely right now. You, Mr. Zanu. They didn't mishandle civil rights. They pioneered it for the world to watch. So before I go, culture is not about beads, drums, and ceremonies alone. It's also how people adapt, preserve, and protect themselves, even in exile, even in trauma, even without land. What African Americans did with half a culture, stolen names, and borrowed language is nothing short of a miracle. So no, the issue is not whether they can handle civil rights. The issue is whether we can handle the truth that even after centuries of being displaced, they still managed to build a culture so loud the world couldn't just ignore it. So Mr. Zanu, instead of policing their culture, please try learning from it. Because if you ever face what they've faced, you'll pray to have their resilience.
Hey, that was
That was
powerful.
perfect.
Powerful.
That was perfect.
From the African brother. That was powerful. So there's no need to have a definition. He laid it out point by point. Now, again, we're talking about the issues facing situations here in America that other people just simply don't understand for whatever reason. I for the most part, it ain't for you to understand. You here to make money just like everybody else. But then you demonize. I don't got no issue with no immigrant. I'm not that kind of dude. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, go check out the show that I did Tuesday night where we talked about some of that stuff in regards to how bad faith immigrants treat us as far as like definition of what they believe that we are. It's all nonsense at the end of the day. The fact of the matter is, when you come here for a specific reason, not to assimilate as far as our culture, but you can't help but to do it because that's what's hot. That's just a fact. You know what I'm saying? That it is what it is. You cannot come here unless you just isolate it beyond belief. You cannot come here and not be exposed to the Black American culture because everybody doing it. White, black, yellow, red. It don't matter. Because we is what's up at the end of the day. Now, we gonna get into some another video where we talk about the quote unquote exploitation of it. I may have a different opinion about that, but the fact of the matter is, our culture, like the African brother said, was forged in fire. That you can't explain it no perfectly than that. Lady Che, you got the flow. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go first, lady first. And
I'm
what do
gonna
you
try to
think
keep
about
it
that
under
piece right
2
there?
minutes. I will try to keep it under
Yeah,
2
go ahead.
minutes. Um, you know, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I'm of the culture. Um, I don't have to. I don't. It's not false with me. It just is. It's not because I feel like this. Some people. You know, culture vulture. They steal from the culture. They steal from foundational Black Americans. The culture overall. Every piece of this nation, there are Black people here from the soil, and every single state has their own people, you know, they have their own things. There's all this, right? And we can all get together. We're supposed to enjoy each other. We can each one teach one, share knowledge, dances, food, whatever, right? We all on the same page, play the same games. We like what we like. We dig what we dig. It's not our fault that we have all this swag and style and energy, and that we could create something every single time. They take it, burn it, break it, steal it. We just recreate and recreate and recreate, and it is almost insulting because we have to keep um explaining it. Other cultures come here and they say things to us that are like so disrespectful. And we don't do that. We don't go over to other places and disrespect them and tell them they don't have no culture or that they've been colonized. Or we don't do that. We're here. We're a loving people for the most part, but we're also an active people, and we can only tolerate so much. And I think this season, in like the last 2 years, 3 years, you're seeing a separation almost because people are tired of their cultural intellect or their intellectual properties or their work stolen and made for everybody when it's specifically meant for foundational Black American freedmen. You know what I mean? It's made it specific, and if you are allowed to participate or enjoy it, say thank you instead of the vitriol and the what I mean? So I think it's upsetting, and I think that I used to think that everybody wants to be Black until it's time to be Black, right? And then they don't want to be Black no more. They want the they see it as a privilege to say the N word, right? But not knowing that what it means for us, you know what I mean? And what the consequences of using it and standing on it. You know what I mean? And when you're not qualified to use it, you shouldn't be allowed to use it. Or if you're asked to not use it, then don't use it. You see what I'm saying? You can obviously go through it and not have to, right? But everybody wants to be black, but not until it's time to be black. You know? All of a sudden they left. You know what I mean? And we're at war. So I think that when I was over there, just for a brief second, you know, talking about being, I can't even say it, multiracial. I kicked that side out. You know, I kicked all that out of my by coding, right? I don't see that because I never experienced it, you know? So I've been over here with us. That's not my fault. It is what it is. And that's where I belong. You know, I didn't choose it. It chose me. I'm here. What are you going to do about it? Right? But I understand, I guess. We'll just say that. You know, but it doesn't stop the work and the things that have to be done now. Because they're not going to do it. Everybody has something to say. They have opinions, but they're not going to put the work in, like me and Jesse and all the other people that are doing this political stuff and just even trying to be open-minded and learning just to keep changing with the nuances. Like, and I like MD, you teach me stuff all the time. You know what I mean? I had to come back. I had got my notebooks so I could take notes, right? Because it's important to know, like that federal stuff, you know? Open mouth. Right? And it's important to advance the culture. But
right. All right. Let me ask you this, Van Cat. I'll let you rock by posing this question. Do you feel that, you know, a lot of the first and foremost, do you feel like it's something intentional as far as, you know, we talking general? Is it something intentional that a lot of immigrants do when they come to America as far as downplaying the I guess you would say the social level of the African American or the Black American freedman, whatever you want to call it? Is it something intentional that they do? Or you think it's just
100% intentional. It is 100% intentional, and it's kind of alarming. You come into this country, and the blacks that were here, that were on the front line, that took all the bullets and took all the heavy lifting to get this place to where it is, to make you want to be here. I mean, the things in America that make America worthy or anybody wanting to be here, a lot of it is from the contributions of blacks in this country, from athletics, sports, food, music. The only time they really hold back blacks is when you know, like in a movie or something of that nature, or in professional wrestling, where the outcome is predetermined and a white person is dictating and limiting what a black person can do. And even then, people break through, like the Ron Simmons and the Rocks and the Booker T's, or you know, in football, you know, forever they couldn't have a black quarterback because we weren't intelligent enough, and all this other nonsense, all this limiting mentality that was ridiculous. And as people look back at these things that were said and done, you know, it just doesn't age well. So for people from the outside to come with a whatever nationality or race, it's really bad when you're black. Meaning when you're, if you could be a Haitian, a Jamaican, or whoever, what kind of black entity come in from outside, inside, and you see the black Americans that have been in the struggle, that have done very, I would say, motivational things over the generations. You can't have that type of disrespect, and it's a lack of knowing the history and what actually happened, because media has done a hit job on blacks in this country forever. They always misrepresent the facts of what has happened, even to the point where these people are saying that slavery wasn't that bad. That's where we're at right now. So I don't know. It's just really ridiculous, because when you think of black, you instantly think of clothes, food, athletic ability, all these things, intelligence. How many things have blacks in this country created and made or enhanced and made better? There's all these things that have been done, and like people don't know or don't want to know or don't understand what's been done.
Hey, look at that comment, Vancat. Look at that comment. I got to get up. Hey, I'm live on Twitch right now. Maybe that was a bad idea. Yeah, go ahead, lady. Go ahead, lady.
My best friend of like 30 years is from South Africa. Okay, beautiful sister, and she, her family, everybody, they follow the rules, and they got everything together. They came during apartheid, right? And over there, my best friend married a foundational brother here. Okay, had a family, a good job, career. She like really, really like if I ever grow up, I want to be just like her, right? She would never do any of the things that we see these people do online. She had built a family here. Her family, her father just passed. Her father just passed. They took me in and welcomed me because I didn't have nothing, and I lived in the family house. So I practiced, I lived like them. I would never disrespect them, and I wouldn't do things like that because I know better. I was raised better. You know what I mean? Even now, I see her mother. You know what I mean? I'm all engrossed in it because we have a 30-year lifetime of friendship. I know her culture. When her father passed away, I wrote something really beautiful for her in their language, you know, um, just because he was important to me too. He was like my father too. See what I'm saying? He corrected me when I was bad, things like that I didn't have, and they'd never say we don't have a culture or we don't have, anything like that. Those are people that don't say things like that, and I just can't believe that with the things I see from other um people coming from Africa, it just baffles me because I I know all their family and they don't behave like that. They don't behave like that. They don't even express their opinions like that. They have something to say, they keep it to themselves. Or they may say it in private, but it's never out loud like that, and it's so ugly and disturbing, Like she built a family with foundational freedmen. You see what I'm saying? So you see, she digs it, she gets it, she understands, and he gets it, and he's been there to her homeland. You see, and that's beautiful. But what this is happening is disrespectful, and it hurts. Like I can't stop. I'm like little tears because what he said, it's true, very true.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That brother, that African brother was powerful. I can't front on that. Like what he was saying spoke volumes, and it's ironic because it came from him. That's the ironic part about it. You know what I'm saying? But again, not to generalize because it's not general at all. You know what I mean? I'm just using the generalization to come up with why it happens. But at the end of the day, this is a political show. All things are political. These people got a preconceived notion even before they step foot on American soil. What it is with Black Americans. They have to create and manufacture these notions in order to gain fulfillment of what is known as the American dream here in the United States. A preconceived notion, niggas ain't worth a damn. So I got to make sure that I not to step on their toes per se, but just avoid them altogether. How many stories do we hear with a lot of Africans, hell, other ethnicities as well? Don't be fellowshipping with them Negroes when you get over there. Go do what you got to do, Go
But
ahead.
MD, don't you think that a element to that is, well, if I get close to Whitey and keep the heat on the blacks that are already here and don't be a part of them, but try to service Whitey better, I could be in good graces with Whitey and they can focus their anger on the blacks that are already here. You know what I mean? Like, that's
Well,
a
look how
cowardly way
That's
to look at it.
exactly that's
if they don't
exactly
advance
what it is.
further,
But
they
the
don't
thing
advance
is,
to
when they
that.
get over here, though, Van Cat, they get an understanding of, hey, I can, like, from a social standpoint, I can mask myself in blackness. Meaning that I can perform all the mannerisms and and do all the things to basically it's almost like take the position of what the rest of white America believes a good black person should look like. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some may even say this is the reason why they put Africans in top level positions based on that fact. Now, I would say that's not the case, because just like any other ethnicity of immigrant that comes over here, they was high level to begin with. Again, the only statistically speaking, the only ethnic groups that we get here that's financially lower than us are the ones that come from Mexico and Central and South America. That's it. Everybody else already high on the hall. That's a fact. These Africans that come over here, man, they studying doing medical work, finance, and all. These is the up to do Africans that come to America. Again, we talked about this. I believe we talked about it either Tuesday or last week. I forget what I was speaking to Che about it.
Yeah, I think
The
it's
Africans that ain't got nothing, they don't give a damn about America. They go into the path of least resistance, which is Europe, because that's the closest. So that's why you see the same thing that's happening as far as the Mexicans and the Venezuelans and all that coming to America. The same exact thing is happening in Europe with a lot of the low level Africans. They get their ass on a plank of wood and sail north to Greece, to Spain, and then they get to the point of entry. Then they go into Germany and UK and all that. And you see what's going on right now. It's protests going on in Great Britain right now. Talking about it's a thing where they got the St. George's Cross, which is the English flag, flying around everywhere. And I might cover that next week, because that's a big story. But in
AMD,
any event, yeah, go ahead.
that Liberty Twitcher, he started off with a 2-for-1 sale on coons, and he's just still going. He's still going with this bull crap right here. He talking. Oh my God, the anti-black, the anti-black notion is just ridiculous, man.
Like I said, this could be a white problem. I don't know, but hey, man, I free speech is free speech. Hey, I'm gonna let him rock. I ain't tripping.
Oh yeah,
I ain't tripping.
I can't see the comments. I don't know what he said.
Yeah. He on the roll. But hey, subscribe to my Twitch channel. That's the least you can do. Oh no, I'm talking to the dude that's comment. Hey, I'm letting you rock, man. The least you can do is subscribe. So in any event, if we're looking at it from the political sense, preconceived notion is important. You ain't no way in hell you've been in America for a prolonged period of time and come up with what that old ass African dude said in the beginning of the video. Ain't no way. How did you even fix your mouth to say the stuff that you said? Especially when it come to freedom. We the very manifestation of what freedom is.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's what we're talking that, like, with the Haitian sister, was like, how can you speak on anything of us when you're not from here? You're a visitor here too, regardless. And you're sitting there so intelligent, and then saying that we don't have this and we're not that, and it's like, No, sir. Obviously, we were that great for you to come over here. And now you're so upset about whatever you're upset about that you're having the dialogue with another person from another country, and you don't respect the any of the efforts that it took for you to come here and you to further your education and all that. You're just sitting there so Mr. Matter of Fact, and that right there was so ugly in itself. Like the devil is busy. That was busy work right there
Well,
for
what
him
he
to.
tried to do, what he tried to do was equate mores and tradition with our concept of freedom. Essentially, what he was saying was based on the fact that we gained freedom after emancipation and didn't collectively come up with something new, that means we didn't have no culture. But we came up, we cultivated our way of life, not in freedom, but in bondage.
Right.
So he basically what he's saying is because once you got freedom and you didn't create something new at that
You know,
point,
oh,
you
you
don't
just
understand what
paused right
freedom.
there.
I'm
You're
like,
probably
that's the
buffering.
most. That's the most.
I'll just
Can you
wait.
hear me?
You're buffering.
Hello,
Yeah, you're buffering. Are you okay? Welfare check. You
No,
all
Vance.
right?
Can you hear me?
no, I hear MD fine. I hear him fine.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, you're
okay. All right,
buffering me for a second.
I got scared for a minute. Yeah, that's you, Lady J. That ain't me.
Yeah, you did too. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
you all right?
Go out and come back in. That'll help it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So essentially, you don't you can't understand the concept of freedom if you're trying to lock us into a tradition. Like don't nobody here in the United States say we got to do anything as far as a tradition or a culture. You could be a black man. You could be a black man in America practicing an entirely different culture. Ain't nobody
Right. I
stopping.
mean, look at Kwanzaa. Look at things like that. Like I celebrated Kwanzaa for like 7, 8 years. And that's a whole different thing. you know?
Right.
So it's like,
So
come on, man. Like
yeah.
these are things that are just like asinine. Like, everything we build, it gets infiltrated or destroyed, and we just keep building and building and building. It's like everything. Like we're constantly like this. We're in a black holocaust. You know what I mean? For like 500 years. How did they expect us to you look at other nations, they don't do what we do and still be loving and kind and want to fight for everybody. Now we can't. Now we just want to look after ourselves for a little bit and get ourselves right because we've taken care of everybody for all this time. Crazy work.
Right. Yeah. All right. So
But
Venkat, you got anything else on this particular topic?
No. I mean, I think we covered it. I mean, it's insane to not acknowledge the things that blacks contributed. It's just kind of crazy to me. But no, that was it.
Okay. All right, joining us now, man, is Jesse Perez, aka Che. Hey, peace, Jesse. What's going on?
Peace to you. I just got done arguing with some pan reaction on this.
man, I had to dip because I couldn't be told
Hey,
anymore.
hey,
I'm
man.
not
I told you I couldn't do it. I couldn't do
man.
it, man. I had my little bit of fun last week, and that was it.
Yeah.
Did you defend
You
me,
know what I
Tess?
mean?
Did you defend me?
Right. Yeah. So we just got finished playing the video with the man, and this video it's done went viral. This just happened last week with the dude
Yeah.
talking about we didn't have no culture or nothing like that.
Yeah.
Everybody's reacting to it right now,
Okay.
and so
Yeah,
you can get some remarks, man, and then I'm gonna move on to the next video.
we ain't got no culture, but everybody emulating our culture.
Hey, I couldn't have said it better myself.
Culture is global, but yet we ain't got no culture.
Right.
Please make it make sense.
Did you defend me?
Yes, I went smooth the hell off.
So hey, what's this channel again you was on? What's the name of the channel?
It's called Coliseum of Arguments, and I was arguing with Cube. You remember Cube?
Oh yeah, outside the cube, yeah.
Yeah, I was arguing with him.
But ain't outside the cube Black American though?
He told us he was Angolan and Trinidadian.
What the hell? How you?
It took the nigga an hour to answer the question.
Right.
Damn,
And
yeah, I thought he was black.
he was hiding behind the avatar. So, when I came on, I was just showing my true self. You know what I mean? And I think I did well
Yeah.
being by myself. You know what I mean? And I didn't like how he's disrespected Jesse. So I disrespected him. But, and to be honest, we're signal boosters for the new black media. So I had to stay consistent with what we know, what we do. Because I don't, we can't falter from the work that we do for the new black media. You know what I mean? And all the work we're doing for Foundation Black American Freedmen and such. So, and I asked them the simple question: just because I look the way I do, am I too light to do the work for black people? Should I just stop because I'm not black enough? You know what I mean? Should I just stop doing the work? Should I? He's like, oh no, please continue. No, you don't get no tangibles, sir, from the work I put in for us, for our people, regardless of how hard it is. I got to do it. Somebody got to do it. I can't change how I look. I love me. I'm pretty. I'm good. I'm right.
I was
You know what I mean?
just y'all niggas. Okay, then where your people's from? You ask any FBA, any Black American, where they from? They're gonna tell you. They're gonna tell you the state. They're gonna tell you the city. They're gonna tell you the block and the neighborhood that they come from. Am I lying?
You ain't lying.
Right. Yeah, he said because
Why is
mothers like whatever.
Rolling and Trinidadian.
That's what he said. Then he said he made it up, but we're gonna ride with it. He wasn't making it up.
So basically, he didn't want to tell y'all where he was from.
No, he said he was making it up, but I believe him because that's real low level energy. I believe him. He's hiding behind the avatar, like a digital avatar.
Yeah.
So I was like, your name's Q Butter, stuff like that. Are you rainbow, light skin, what?
I done seen Q. Cube. He, like I said, I always thought Cube was black. As a matter of fact, this was a long time ago. I was on a panel with Cube and Lex Vortex one day.
Yeah.
And we were talking about reparations, and he was actually on my side because Lex, we were talking about Frederick Douglass.
Yeah.
And he was saying that Frederick Douglass kids wouldn't get reparations. Like, why not? Like, and Q was saying, yeah, he was like, hey man, like, and especially at that time with one drop rule and all of that. I always thought Q was cool. You know, a lot of these YouTubers, man, they like a fart in the wind, bro. They blowing wherever they can get views and clicks and shit, man.
Yep.
Yeah, let's tight at it. I've been over there.
Yeah. I'm trying to tell them where FBA and ADOS and all that came from, and they're saying, no, Dr. Clark Anderson didn't mean it like that, and all this and that. And I'm like, well, Dr. Clark Anderson said that we're exceptional people. Something specifically for us.
He trolls, so he knows what we're at, but he acted like he didn't. And when I called him out on it, the thing is that I said what I said. I mean what I mean. I can't take it back. And honestly, you can't convince me to behave some way I would never know how to live. You know what I mean? I don't have those privileges like that. So I don't know how to live like that. And I'm not going to start. If I kick my mama out the house because she says bad words that I can't say because they're ugly and racist, and I mean that. You know, if I keep my mama out there, what do you mean?
Right. Hey, we gonna move on. But I forgot, Van Cat. Damn, I got headlines, man. I got so upset with this damn mobile hotspot earlier. I forgot to do the damn headline. Let's do the headlines now, and then we gonna go to the next video. So I told you what was gonna happen, Van Cat dinner with the whole. Didn't even nobody know about it at the time with Venezuela. You saw they done blew up some boat in the middle of the Caribbean Sea yesterday and killed 11 people. Now, nobody even knows if these was really drug cartels or nothing. Don't nobody know. All we know is that the military killed 11 people in the sea on a boat. And Trump showed some video of the drone footage where they dropped the bomb on the people. Now, if you know you got 2 warships and whatever amount of destroyers out in the sea, I'ma still go try to traffic the dope. You can't be that stupid. I don't believe it. I don't believe this one bit, Van Cat. I don't believe it, bro.
Yeah, it's
I
hard
believe
to believe.
I think they killed some innocent people.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did because there's nothing ever genuine out the Trump administration. There's no way in hell I believe it.
That's crazy. This from
Yeah,
the
you're right.
Independent. The U.S. military killed 11 people on Tuesday in a strike on a vessel. It wasn't a vessel. It looked like a fishing boat on a vessel from Venezuela allegedly carrying illegal narcotics. President Donald Trump
Oh, no.
said in the known operation since his administration's recent deployment of warships to the Southern Caribbean. We just, over the last few minutes, literally shot out a boat, a drug-carrying boat. A lot of drugs in that boat. That's what Trump said.
How
How
did
he
he
know?
know?
We ain't seen no drug. Usually when they do a drug bust, they show you look at all these bricks of drugs we just
Yep.
confiscated.
Yep.
Hey, when it
Yep.
They'll show
blew,
it.
was there teeth floating in the ocean when they blew it up?
I don't know. I guess the
Floating
whales
around?
and the
We
whales
got
and the
sharks
dolphins,
all high.
they high as
Yeah.
hell. I guess. I
Dolphins
don't
was
know.
extra happy. You know what I mean?
You
Doing
know,
extra cartwheels in the ocean. Yeah.
Flipper done
No,
had an
if they
OD
blew it up,
on fentanyl.
if they
Yep.
opened it up, it's like anything. It's
Flipper,
gonna float. It's gonna float.
fl-
So then you see all
it,
kind
it,
of, you know what I mean? See all kind of things floating in
well,
the ocean.
well, now we got Flipper the fentanyl dolphin is what we got now. So
They're super
now
intelligent. They don't fuck with it.
now this was crazy when I saw this today, and this just happened today. NBC News: Trump looking to ban transgender people from having a gun and declaring
Okay.
them mentally ill in a report.
All right. So
Where
mentally ill people can get guns, but
where
not transgender people.
where are all my Second Amendment people at? Where they at?
They ain't nowhere to be found because it's
I'm
never been a
what?
genuine argument.
Right.
It's always been a lie, and you know it, MD.
Right.
I'm telling you, ever since 2020, everything been clear.
Why can't they have a gun? Why? Yeah, because they got a beard and a dress on. What's stopping from having a gun? Like,
Well, they using the example of the Minnesota shooting from last week.
Because that's the
Is what
first
they doing.
shooting ever to happen ever in this country. I mean, well, if we're gonna keep it up, all the white people need to be banned from having guns from all the
for
killings
real.
they've been doing.
Right. Let's take all the guns away from the PD. Right there. That right there will solve all the problems. Most of the problems. You think? Just take that away. Just start right there. Just pick any fraternal order and just strip them of their weapons. Just see how it feels. Just see how it feels. Just for a little bit. You know?
That's a wild headline, MD. That's a wild headline. Trump, I don't know, man.
It's hot off the press, bro. It's hot off the press. So
I mean, I think you got
trannies.
gun if you gotta, are you gonna put it, tuck it in, or where you got a gun at? Because I would question it if you're rocking around, with a mini skirt and a beard, and you want to be called a certain thing, and you rocking around with the heat on you. I kind of wonder why you would have to do that, because that's kind of
Well,
misleading.
it ain't misleading. You know what the trannies do. You know exactly what the trannies do,
I know.
especially in our hoods. You know, you got download Derek Brown going to the hotel or in the hood, going to go see the tranny. And he gonna try to take advantage of the tranny because why? The tranny is vulnerable. So he might try to do whatever he want to do with the tranny, and then don't want to pay the tranny afterwards.
Or the trannies on the other side of it, and it's like, hey, look, you gonna take this fuller or else by force. You know what I mean? Because they like hitting on straight things. Let's just put it. It could go either way.
But I mean, we know that these things happen in our community, and we know we know trannies they getting violated. Like,
So,
go ahead.
So, MD, do you think there's any traction at all that this could come into legislation?
No.
Hell no. Hell no. No.
No, this would be
No.
considered a
I
hate
mean, come
He
on.
crime.
We,
part of
we
the
got
Trump.
enough. We don't have enough MAGA maniacs in the Congress to support this.
Right.
I mean,
Those
Again,
people will fight
you're at
it.
a crossroads though, Van Cat. Because
okay.
again, how much do these MAGA maniacs truly value the Second Amendment? How much?
Well, I'm
Now
loving it. I want them to proceed with this so that their talking points will be crumbled right in front of our eyes right now, because
Right.
it's always been a disingenuous argument. This whole gun thing has been always about. It's been about the NRA and money and making money. That's what
Mm-hmm.
it never had to do with no
Selling
no
weapons. Yeah.
beliefs.
It's about
Well,
money.
I
And
ain't gonna argue. This ain't the show for it, Van Cat. I ain't gonna argue with you.
it's always about money and an
I ain't gonna
agenda.
argue.
That's it.
Okay, and
They can't
of
make
course,
money off it. They do it.
if you haven't seen the press conference from yesterday with the Epstein victims, I highly suggest that you go watch it. It was powerful to me.
Yeah.
It was powerful.
They
So
said they released
Epstein.
some of it.
You mean the video where they were on? I think it was on MSNBC. The women and whatnot were talking about
Yeah, they had the
Epstein
press
thing.
conference yesterday.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that. Yeah, I saw that. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said they
So
released
Epstein accused
35 pages.
that ain't nothing. Epstein accusers ramp up pressure on Congress. A group of Jeffrey Epstein accusers told emotional, gut-wrenching stories of sexual abuse at the hands of the late convicted sex offender. I ain't got to really read. But we know what happened yesterday.
I'm gonna go find
They
out.
even made a point. They even made a point to say that they're going to compile, of course, with the help of their legal team. They gonna compile their own list.
Well, FD. So
Go ahead.
what you're saying, they gonna compile their own list. They should have came strapped with that damn list on the goddamn press conference right then and there.
You got to think of the legal ramifications, though, Van Cat. Now, if I was a lawyer and I was representing one of them victims, I would advise them don't do that until we can cross all the T's and dot the I. Because you got to think we talking about the most powerful of powerful. We talking about the most powerful.
Right. They said they released 3,000 pages or something like that, and 8 videos, and there's a whole list of things they released.
It wasn't no videos. It was 33,000 pages, but we already knew all the stuff that was in there. There's nothing new, like at all.
That's what I said.
So you know, we'll see what comes out of it. Trump already downplaying it. So you know,
that lets you know the guilt.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we'll see. That none of the victims like outright said that he was involved. One of the victims, and you know, everybody tried to make a big hoopla about it. One of the victims said that she was on a trip to Africa with Epstein, and Clinton was also there. So everybody, you know, said, "See, look," and like I said, Clinton could have been involved. But what I give a damn, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I don't care if Clinton is involved. If he's involved, get his bitch ass.
Yeah, exactly. So you know, to make a flex out of that, I don't know exactly. I mean, if we talking about caring about sexual abuse victims, who give a damn who on the list? Release them.
Exactly.
I said I didn't want to hear more about that degeneracy from them. Like, I was like, why we really want to read about this perversions and degeneracy some secret island of you with White Diddy, you know what I mean? Oh, good. So good on that.
So the people that signed on to the bill now, well, it's not really a bill, it's a petition. All of the Democrats. Then you got Nancy Mace, Marjorie Taylor Greene, of course Thomas Massey, which is one of the co-authors, and it's a fourth Lauren Boebert, Miss Hand Job herself.
Oh my God, she's the worst person to do this.
She's feeling herself though, man. I was like, don't apologize, Lauren. Don't apologize.
So they need two more Republicans. They need two more Republicans to get it passed. So we'll see what happens. So all right, that's enough of the headline. let's go straight into the second video. This one a doozy, y'all.
All right, I'm going.
Hi, my name is Omomi Dede, an actor from Nigeria, and culture means earth, motherland, Africa, originality, and culture is the essence of our being, the togetherness, the oneness, the community, the society that we're from, and we should always celebrate that. So yes, whatever it is, if you're African, go back to Africa and connect to your source. Thank you.
In the world of buy now, pay later, credit card debt being over $1 trillion, and people selling out Beyonce tickets, I do not want to hear that people are not going to Essence Fest because of money. People are not going to Essence Fest because of the values that they're standing on, because did we forget? One of the companies we're supposed to be boycotting is one of the major sponsors. And I've heard a lot of people say, oh, but they're in a multi-year contract. They can't just pull out that easily. Let me remind you who owns Essence Fest. This guy, Rich Dennis, is a capitalist, first and foremost. Him and I, we went to the same alma mater. I actually met this man. He is about the good old American business model. And he owns Essence Ventures, which is a private equity firm that's all about precision targeting and driving ROI and accessing the $1.4 trillion in Black Americans. So this has nothing to do about whether or not Essence wanted to be moral and ethical. Their target is precision targeting, so getting you in the door and driving the ROI. Now, are they doing that well this year? I don't know. We shall see. And I love the selective outrage, because back in 2020, when Black Women Anonymous came out with their essay on Medium about his leadership causing pay inequity, sexual harassment, corporate bullying, intimidation, colorism, and classism, y'all still continue to go to Essence Fest. So it's almost like we don't care what's happening to Black women, but we do care when they change DEI. Just call it what it is. Okay? So point being, I don't think Essence Fest is having low turnout rate because people can't afford it. If people wanted to go, people would have gone. It's New Orleans, so it's hot. It seems to have been disorganized. Let's see how 2026 looks.
Your decision makers don't understand why certain artists matter to the community, why certain foods are significant, or why accessibility is working class Black American families is crucial. You get a festival that looks like Essence on the surface, but has lost its soul. Let's talk specifics. The workshops that used to focus on real issues affecting Black women, like navigating workplace discrimination, building Black businesses, addressing health disparities, have been replaced with generic empowerment content that could be found in any fluffy corporate conference. The artist lineup increasingly prioritizes mainstream appeal over cultural significance. We're seeing fewer gospel acts, fewer emerging Black artists getting platform opportunities, and more focus on what's commercially viable rather than what's culturally important. Here's where it gets really problematic. Black-owned businesses that have been part of Essence ecosystem for years are being priced out or overlooked in favor of larger corporate sponsors who can write bigger checks. This isn't just bad business, it's cultural eraser with economic consequences. When a major Black culture institution loses its authenticity, the damage goes far beyond just one event. The Essence Festival used to be a major economic driver for Black-owned businesses. Hotels, restaurants, transportation, retail. All of this used to flow heavily through the Black-owned establishments during festival weekend. But as the festival has become more corporate and less community focused, the economic impact has shifted away from the very community that created and sustained the event. Culture isn't just entertainment. It's how we pass down our values, our history, our identity. When our major cultural events lose authenticity, we lose important spaces for cultural transmission. Young Black people should attend Essence and see themselves reflected not just in the audience, but in the leadership, the vendors, the programming. They should leave feeling connected to their heritage and inspired by community's excellence. The Black community has a long memory when it comes to institutions that claim to serve us, but then prioritize other interests. Once that trust is broken, it's incredibly hard to rebuild. We're seeing this play out in real time. Declining attendance from longtime supporters, negative word of mouth in the community, and a general sense that the festival has lost its way.
Essence Festival is normally the crown of summer events, especially for the Black community, placing a spotlight on Black culture. But is there a crack in the crown? There's a list of complaints, including Target being a sponsor despite the company's rollback on DEI policies. People are also upset about some of the musical acts. Lauryn Hill reportedly did not hit the stage until 2:30 in the morning, playing to a nearly empty Caesars Superdome. Some fans are asking if Essence Fest has lost the plot and tarnished its legacy. So, KG, you just got off the plane. From New Orleans, from the Essence Fest. What was it like? Because when we see many of the videos, some of the venues appear to be empty. The city just didn't look like it had.
It didn't feel the same. It didn't feel the same. It didn't look the same, but it definitely didn't feel the same. And a lot of what the people were saying is because of the new leadership. I was there at the convention center Saturday, prime time, 3 a.m. Saturday afternoon. Normally that place is wall to wall. It was like a ghost town. I was shocked. I was really shocked. And so I don't know. Some folks are saying the acts. I thought that the lineup was pretty dope each night. Lauryn Hill being really late on Friday night, that wasn't her fault.
That's part of the course, though.
That's the norm.
That's
the norm. But it's not her fault
this
this time. They actually started egregiously late, and Target being a sponsor, the title sponsor. They know folks ain't doing that, but what they're saying is the ownership. You know, that they are trying to do more with the African diaspora and with our Caribbean family and take away the Black American culture that started Essence Fest in the first place.
Caroline Wanga is the CEO, current CEO.
Yes.
What do you see as a problem here? And is there a problem in your mind?
In my mind, it's not. I hate the diaspora wars and everything, and I've been, seeing all these things and people talking on TikTok and all the different sites, and I feel like they're using a lot of words just trying to say African booty scratcher on the cool, like just being very negative towards Africans and people that are Pan-African, and I don't like that.
And really quick, for those who are wondering what we're talking about, many say it's more pro-Africa than it is Black American and the celebration of the Black American culture.
I mean, the lineup is pretty much all Black American, and I mean, if Essence was up for sale, like a Black American could have purchased it as well. So I think sometimes when things aren't working out or you're being evolving or, just change. Essence started in 1970. The first Essence Fest was in 1995. It is 2025. It's going to look different. America's different. Everything is different. And I think it's a little bit, a little intellectually lazy just to say, it's an African that's leading, that owns it, and that's another one that's leading it. So they're trying to change everything. I saw the whole, Jollof versus jambalaya thing. When people always ask me growing up, what is jollof rice like? I would always say it's kind of like jambalaya.
Peace to the tribe. So we got some breaking news. Caroline Wanga steps down as CEO of Essence Ventures after health leave. So Caroline thought she was finna jollof her way into our ethnic group. You cannot merge your culture into the Black American culture or our ethnic group. Delineation is here, and we ain't going for none of that. Black Americans, we have our own unique, rich culture. We are our own specific ethnic group. You cannot force us to merge cultures. It will never work. So Caroline, I wish you well, but you got to go.
All right, so there you have it. You saw the Chronicle, which was Essence Fest 2025. Remember when all that went down? It was a whole hoopla about the different things. I wanted to put this particular piece in here because, again, I got a different opinion when it comes to gatekeeping, quote unquote, gatekeeping culture. I think y'all using the wrong word. It's not in particular gatekeeping culture. It's profitizing. It's monopolizing. No, you can't gatekeep a culture. Anybody can come in and sell culture. It's what the culture in and of itself does to defy whatever they sell. At the end of the day, I'm Captain Capitalism. You got to remember this. Anybody can sell you anything culturally. Anybody can do that. It's whether you buy it or not. And clearly this year, Black Americans wasn't buying it. That's just a fact. You know, there's so many things that happened over the course of them 3 days that when I saw it when it was first breaking, I was like, man, like this ain't it. And then you're gonna turn around and try to shame those same people for giving the criticism on what they felt about. These are paying customers at the end of the day. Right or wrong, Van Cat? Right or wrong?
Right.
Okay. So these are paying customers. They expect a service that they purchase.
That's right.
They purchasing the Black American experience. Whether you're
That's
white,
right.
Black, African, Caribbean, don't matter. I want to go to the Essence Fest because I want the ultimate Black American experience. Don't you know all these years of Essence Fest, where I live, I remember seeing the posters at the bus stations and stuff. Essence Fest bus tour. All the Black women get on the bus and take their ass to New Orleans and come back. That was a thing back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Because it was, specifically for Black women. That's what it was. We going to Essence Fest. We gonna make a girls trip out of going to Essence Fest. And especially with Atlanta and New Orleans, because we got a little rivalry. All the people from Atlanta used to go to New Orleans, talk their shit, and enjoy Essence Fest and come back. You know what I'm saying? Now, let me say this first, because something was said that was just false in and of itself. The lady on the Isaiah Factor said, well, it was up for sale. Black American could have bought it. Essence Ventures, and I found this out. I wasn't able to put it in the video. Essence Ventures is a venture capitalist firm, which I'm a capitalist. I love it. Meaning that it's other investors beside him. Like he may be the head, but he ain't the only one. As a matter of fact, he ain't the biggest one. He's just the head of the venture capitalist firm.
Because he's Black. So they want to use him as the figurehead in the face so that their white asses can hide behind, but then he follows what they tell them, what they tell him to say. And that's problematic as hell right there.
Van Cat just said it. I didn't have to do it. Van Cat said it for me. So you can't even use that argument saying, oh, Black American could have bought it and an African bought it. Well, an African helped buy it. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, he probably presented the piece, the project, to the white folks in order to buy it. And you saw Target and all these people help sponsor the festival. Van Cat been said he ain't rocking with Target. He been saying that for months.
Yep.
So it was a no-go for Van Cat. He wasn't going in the first place.
Hell no.
Based off that alone. So again, man, it's problematic. Like Van Cat said, man, when you're dealing with what are you selling me? Essence Fest historically, it ain't no change. That's just like me saying, hey, look, I'm gonna go to the Asian Fest. I'm gonna go to the Asian Fest and battle with fried rice and chitlins, and they gonna look at me like, what the hell are you doing? Because you're going for the cultural experience. That's the whole point of Essence Fest. Anybody can go, again, like I said. Ain't nobody tripping off of that. Just give me what I paid for. Is all I'm saying. Go ahead, Lady J.
I mean, I was old enough to remember my father my father getting a jet, essence, vibes, source, you know, I forgot there was one other one. The magazines would come, and I remember just reading about, reading the Essence magazines, because they used to have a great hairstyles, right? And I would practice, there's a lot of good material to read in the magazine, you know, as I like to read the magazine. It would come just like Jet, things like that. And there was always, um, from what I remember, Black American, sisters, brothers, all that on it, right? When it turned into a festival, I never had the opportunity to see the festival. I knew, that it was going down. I heard about it. You know, I always thought that it was, us going there. You know, in New Orleans or from Louisiana, um, like you said, Atlanta. There was us going there. I think that when everything started to come, you know, as we delineated or started to separate all the things that was happening, you know, yeah, we didn't like that. We didn't like that lady, was part of that. That it was by whatever. I don't know.
Hey, you going in and out, Lady J. I don't know if that's me or
No, no, no. I'm sorry. I was kind of far away. I apologize. Um, it's because I was doing something over here. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me
yeah, you
clearly?
good. Yeah, yeah.
All right. I don't. I followed it a little bit. I was more concerned that the artists were having problems. You know what I mean? Like Lauren Hill, things like that. You know, Lauren Hill. You know what I mean? I want to see Lauren Hill. You know, that she get to perform, or the stadium was damn near empty. I was like, wow, that's just disrespectful. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I stopped reading after I seen that little piece, and then to see that the new Black Media covered it, I was like, okay. But now I was watching that little portion. That lady, when she said, well, an African American person could have bought it. It was up for sale. It was almost like a jab, you know? And maybe there's a
That's
reason
exactly
why.
what it was.
Maybe there's a reason why, because look, the BET Awards, they got canceled, you know? And then after that, I mean, that kind of really,
Did it?
yeah,
Oh, I didn't
yeah,
know that.
yeah, that bothered me a little bit too. That kind of hurt my soul a little bit, even though it wasn't really shit. It wasn't really shit anymore. It's kind of trash. It just kind of hurt my soul because I remember watching the BET Awards when it first started. You know what I mean? And BET just became, trash ultimately. And it kind of hurt my soul just to know that it's no longer here. And then now Essence Fest is no longer here. You know what I mean? It just kind of bothered me. Like, I'm 45, so how could I not feel that little pain right there? But no, it's just terrible, That's just terrible. Yeah, we're having these little conversations online about Jollof and, jambalaya, stuff like that. I think that's just only because certain um African people or Haitian people, Jamaican, Caribbean, whatever, are just pressing the button and antagonizing us in situations. We're just, we're just done with that. Not with everybody, we're just with the ones that are causing issue. You know what I mean? Or causing our emotion to kind of have speed bumps or road bumps in it. It's kind of that's what I think it is. It just makes me sad. Just like there's no, like, when was the last, I can remember the last time I saw a Jet magazine. You know what I mean? Like a little
I
Jet
don't think they
magazine.
make Jet. Yeah, I don't think they
You
make
know?
Jet no more. Yeah,
Right.
they don't make
That
Jet
makes
no
me
more.
sad too.
I remember going. I remember getting Jet man. I just wanted to look at the beauty of the week. That was it.
Right. They
All
had
the
good
rest
hair.
of
They
the shit,
had
I ain't
good
give a damn
style.
about.
They had good tips. Good little tips, for men too.
Yeah.
Like they always had a really nice looking gentleman on the front, or you know what I mean? He's all stylish and everything. You made you want to open it up and just look, you know. And Jet was for jet black, it was black. Jet was black, Essence was black. That was unapologetic. That was like, look where we're at. Sad,
Right.
sad state
Hey,
of affairs.
Jesse, what you got on it, man? Oh, I don't know what Jesse had.
Shabaka. I'm listening, but I'm
Oh,
talking to Shabaka. Yeah, the BET Awards got shut down because they tried to have Fat Joe host it, and FBA shut that shit all the way down.
oh, hey, there you go. There you go. Yeah, I just saw it with the BET and the Soul Train Award. They shut both of them down. Damn. Hey, man. Hey,
When
like,
John Cornelius wasn't doing, when they had the first white person on Soul Train, that's when I knew it was over. You know what I mean?
I disagree with that. See, and I'm glad you brought that up. So when we used to see like the white folks and the Japanese, I remember, matter of fact, a couple of weeks ago, I saw a clip where it was like a Japanese couple in the Soul Train line. They wasn't trying to like sell shit. They were celebrating black culture. And that's what I'm saying. Anybody can do this. Anybody. Just understand, hey, look, man, y'all culture is great. I want to emulate. I don't want to manipulate it. I want to emulate it. I don't have no issue with that. That's why I say when we talk about cultural appropriation and shit like that, what are we really talking about? If another person from another race or another ethnic group celebrates our culture, I'm all for it because it shows how great we are as a people. You know what I'm saying? But when you try to flip it and do the flapjack with it and then sell it back to me, that's when I got a problem. And
Right.
and
But
in
what
essence, I
about
can't
like
even
people
really
like
stop that.
Aquafina? What about people like Aquafina though? How do you feel about that?
Who's that?
Oh, that's the little Asian girl that played
Yeah.
in what was that? Iron Fist? I believe she
Well,
played in one of
she's
them movies.
in everything. She's in all kinds of
Yeah,
stuff, and she
but
keep talking about that black scent.
I don't know who
so
that
so
is.
it so is she celebrating black culture or is she manipulating it for her own profit?
I think she's
Manipulated for
manipulated for her
a
own
not
profit.
manipulated.
They think
Well,
it's funny. They think it's
That's
cute
about you.
that an
Okay,
Asian girl is sounding like a black girl.
okay, Shabaka.
oh yeah, she played in that sitcom. And that shit was funny too. Damn, what was it called?
I forgot the name.
Something from Queens. Damn, what was the name of that?
And she's in a lot of
It was on
movies.
Comedy Central. It was something from Queens,
Hmm.
and she stayed with her grandma. Yeah, hey, she a funny little Asian girl. She
What?
funny as hell.
So
But
where's
again,
the appreciation for our culture? Where do we draw the line with appreciation for our culture and appropriation of our culture?
money. That's where you draw the line.
Mm.
That by not spending it with said appropriator. That's where you draw it. That's the only place that you can draw it. That's the only ability that you have. You can't stop nobody from doing shit. This is America. So how do you how do you disparage it? By not spending your money. You seeing that with the Essence Fest and BT and all that shit.
Yeah,
That's how you stop it. That's if I'm gonna give a definition for gatekeeping, that's gatekeeping.
economic
Why,
That
development.
you know,
why is it that like okay, so when a white person makes a movie, a show, a book, a song, it's just a really good movie, a book, a song. When a black person makes a movie, oh, that's a black movie. That's a black song. That's a black book. That's a black pants,
Is
black
all
shirt.
black?
What was it? I
Why
think.
is it all? Why is it, when it originates from a black creator, it's a black thing.
Well,
Well, is
remember
But
it
when
targeted
it
for black
comes from
people?
any other race, it's an everybody thing.
Cat.
Is it targeted for black people?
Do you
Is the
remember?
movie targeted for black people? What's
Do
the
you remember,
target audience?
do you remember when Denzel? It was either Denzel Washington or Samuel L. Jackson said, "I'm just an actor." Why I gotta just why I gotta be a black actor? Why
Yep.
can't I be an actor?
Yep.
Hmm?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I would say this is what's the target audience of said whoever created it? What's the target audience? And then I would go from there.
Well,
Yeah.
But
that's kind
sometimes
of
there is no
misleading too.
target audience. Sometimes everybody they want to get as much people as possible. Nobody really should be making a song or a movie saying, I need it to be for these people, unless they know the limitations of their production and the quality of whatever art they're doing. But most people that have something that's good would want it to reach as many people as possible, no matter what their nationality is or their culture or whatever it is.
Due to
So for
capitalism
example,
or due
so
to
for example, like Sinners, Ryan Coogler, right? Black
yeah.
Panther, that man. Uh,
Yep.
he making it for us, right? Or is he making it for everybody? Even though
I think
everybody
you're making
wants
it
to
for
enjoy
everybody.
it, but
I think that's for
he
And
everybody.
made
see
him tell it.
that's the
He
thing.
made him tell it. They made it for us, right?
That's the thing. We expect, like I said, we live in a capitalist society.
Right. That's
You
why
can't
is it
right and
exposure?
yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Jess.
Is it capitalism or exposure? Like what is the
It's capitalism. It's always
I don't know,
capitalism.
man. Like, is everybody in the movie black, and there's not one white person? I don't know. I think it's an
No,
You
audience.
understand?
there was Asian people. There's Asian people in the cast. There was some of the better performance. That Asian lady and that guy was pretty good in the movie.
Yeah, but remember the Latinos, they was complaining about them not being in the film.
What the hell Latino was in Mississippi in the 1920s?
Exactly.
Yeah, ChatGPT. They said they were there.
But they was complaining
Wasn't
talking about
no damn Latinos.
he put Latinos in the Black Panther movie, but he didn't put them in Sinners.
So I would agree. I would agree with Lady Che to a certain extent when it comes to target audience. Target audience is important, but a lot of the time the target audience is just there to be a stepping stool, like us. How many white or other ethnic artists we done seen when they first come on the scene? We are the target audience. We the ones that prop them up.
Eminem.
And then once they, well, I won't put Eminem in there.
Why not? That's a good point. Eminem is a good point.
I'm
That's
talking
true.
about people. I'll give you a better. All right, let me give you a better example because Eminem didn't do what these other artists did. Look at a person, and I'm talking about like today. Look at a person like what's the white boy with the gold teeth and wear the Crocs all the time?
Ritz.
Damn, what's his name? Post Malone.
Oh,
Look at Post Malone. Post Malone came in the scene, and he had a target audience. Who was the target audience? Niggas. Now Post Malone is standing on stages playing the guitar and damn near singing country music.
Remember Bubba?
He did what
he used us as a stepping stone.
Everybody to the barbecue.
That's what I mean. Peace, Ricardo. What's up? That's what I mean by target audience. Here's another target audience. Look at Kim Kardashian. When Kim Kardashian came on the scene and she was getting jammed up on the sex tape, who was the target audience?
Black
niggas.
Always love that booty.
So far as she augmented her body to look like one.
Shout out to the diaper booties.
Look at Kim Kardashian now. She don't give a damn about your black ass.
No.
Not at all.
Miley Cyrus.
Yeah,
Miley Cyrus.
Yep.
That's another one.
Another cultural appropriation jacker.
Let that lady tell it she thought she invented twerking.
So when we talking about target audience, we're talking about the culture vultures. To be honest with you, I don't look at Eminem as a culture vulture.
I do.
That's just me being honest.
No, Eminem is not a coach. He's not a culture vulture for sure. He's not.
Eminem is authentic.
He's not.
Now you can say
How's it authentic?
I don't know.
Eminem is not a culture vulture.
How is he
See,
not?
and like I said, I'm not no Eminem fan. I guess I used to be at one point,
Remember
but
when
I'm not no.
What
I don't like
changed,
that
MD?
first album. Other than that,
I just got older.
Eminem is a representation of what hip hop's supposed to be. It originated with blacks, but it's for everybody, and everybody has
But the
their own
suburban.
story to
That's the
their
problem
own.
right there.
Did he get back to
But
black?
why do the suburban people get a pass though? I don't get that. The suburbanites with the white suburbanites. Why do they get a pass?
And look at
What you mean? What you mean,
the,
Ricardo?
Because what I begin to notice is that a lot of suburban white people then jump on the whole train of, oh, it sounds cool. I want to be a part of them. Let me just join in and just do some mishmashing of words, and I can look cool, and I appropriate. And then what they're going to say? They're going to include me, so I'm going to be a part of the mix. That's what I mean. Like, when do
They
we
don't get
start?
pass.
Why do we always consistently give classes?
We don't give them a pass. I
See,
don't think they get a pass.
that goes to what I was saying before. Like, why should it matter where it originated from? You want to always give homage to where it came from, obviously, but I think everybody else should have their opportunity to utilize it. Like, you can't just say, okay, pizza is made by Italians. It should only be in Italy. The best pizza I ever had in my life was in Puerto Rico. That was the best pizza ever. So, I mean, you can't limit stuff like that. There's no
It's still
limit
a
to
part of the
stuff.
U.S. Van Cat. Puerto Rico is still the U.S.
And that's what I'm saying.
Man,
I
my
don't
question
care
is this:
what you do.
do they
You're
get back
not
to
going to
the
be able
black
to
community?
gatekeep it. You're not going to be able to gatekeep it in the way that you believe that you'll be able to gatekeep it.
That's been the
The
problem.
only way that you can gatekeep it is not partake in it. That's literally the only way.
We haven't gatekeeped at all any of our music genres. Starting with country,
Because it's impossible to do.
jazz.
Question: if they're from a different, they come in and they, they behave of the culture. Do they give back to the culture after they've eaten off the culture?
How do you
Has
give back to a
Eminem give
culture?
back to the
How
culture?
you do that? How you do that?
I don't know. Do good things for black people. Stuff like that. Is he giving back? Let's just say that. It's, whatever. Has he given back
But
to it?
but wouldn't give it back to the culture be that, like, if you do something really good that makes more eyeballs and more people interested in it, you are giving back. Like Eminem would be giving back just by
No,
his because he
no,
came out with music that sold a lot of records. He made fan interest and made other people into hip hop music, and he always talks about his influences, like all the past rappers.
Eminem
That-
stole
He
Master
started out with black people with them, though.
Buck. Eminem
He
stole
didn't just do
Master
it all by himself.
Master
Look at
Ace.
himself.
He stole Master Ace's style. He bit off of Proof. He bit off of so many. He's not contributing to the culture. He's
Yeah,
you just said he bit off. You just described the essence of hip hop, which is taking a little bit of things from the past, reworking it into your interpretation, and
It's a hip
that's
hop.
literally what hip hop is.
No, it's not.
So, rap doesn't use jazz beats, older beats from other genres, flip it in a way and make it something new.
Venkat, that's not the same thing.
Who's here though?
Genres. All hip hop is a evolution of the genres we already created.
From here.
We didn't create those genres, and we incorporated them into hip hop. We created all those genres that are being incorporated into hip hop.
From our people here. So that's not really, from our people here, like James Brown, all that stuff has an essence to our people here. Hip hop here.
Biggest sample song in hip hop. The Funky Drummer by James Brown and JB's. That's the biggest sample song in hip hop. James Brown is
I don't disagree with that. All I'm telling you is, all that sound good. At the end of the day, you can't stop nobody else from like doing it, like at all. The only way
Ain't no
What you say, Big Cat?
rapper alive. Ain't no rapper alive that wasn't influenced by somebody before them.
There's a difference between being influenced and biting somebody. That was a no in hip hop. You did not bite somebody else's style. You didn't bite nobody else's rhymes. Jay-Z is the one that made that shit cool, to steal people's styles and rhymes and make it your own. That was Jay-Z that did that. But prior to Jay-Z, that was a no in hip hop.
Yeah, I ain't no hip hop historian, so you know that's beyond my framework.
I am.
All I'm saying is this: throughout the annals of history, when it comes to Black American culture, white folks been being influenced by it. It wouldn't be no mute. Everybody would just be silenced, stepping side to side, if it wasn't for black folks.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what Kendrick Lamar just said that in his album. Yeah. You know, if you get rid of hip hop, watch the party die.
You know,
sure
from rock music to
like
contemporary jazz.
Yep, exactly.
Like the shit been getting like white folk. Look at the 50s and the early 60s. Those were the people that was making the money for the black artists, was the white folk.
What era we know. What era was that? That was on the Jim Crow. Black artists.
Yeah, it was.
Elvis stole black artists' style, lingo, and mannerisms. Elvis
and
did
still
that
profited off it, and still profited a big, huge,
and never gave back to it. Never pointed back to it. Just came from this.
Right. He never venerated the artists that. But look at somebody like the Rolling Stones. The Rolling Stones will let
did
you
the
know.
Same thing.
Hey, if it weren't for black, no, they did. Rolling Stones said Chuck Berry,
exactly.
Howlin' Wolf.
They show homage to the past and where they got it from.
Rolling Stones made "Beasts of Burden." I believe strongly in my heart. He was talking about black people. They were talking about black people. You listen to that song.
A group like the Rolling Stones will tell you straight up. When we heard this sound, we were hypnotized. They'll tell you straight up.
Right.
So are the Rolling Stones? Huh?
Rolling Stones I feel like the Rolling Stones, it was different. You know what I mean? Like I said, when I listen to
how was the Rolling Stones different from Eminem? Tell me how.
I just feel like it is. I feel like it's different. Maybe you're right. I have to do some research on that. I have to wonder if they gave back to black people, right? Yeah, I have to do some research. No, I will make
you can't look. You can look up the Rolling Stones right now. Every chance they got, they put Chuck Berry on the stage. Every chance they got.
Well, then that's giving back, is it not?
One thing to put somebody on stage is a whole other thing to speak out for a whole people. When has Eminem?
Chuck Berry was playing the Chitlin circuit before Rolling Stones came out.
That's what I was getting.
You know how much money? Chuck Berry made because of the Rolling Stones?
Well, is he getting residual income from? But the thing about it, though, MD,
Chuck Berry is dead.
I know, but like his family will get residual income. The family will get residual income. That's what I'm saying. Like the generational wealth that will come about from him, all of that from them.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck Berry was in the juke joints in the South, and he was in the hole in the wall before Mick Jagger and them put him on. But they told him, "Hey, look, if it wasn't for you, I would not be here." That's what Mick Jagger them said.
Right. So
that's what they said.
They gave him back. They give it back, right?
But did they say, "We got this from you. You created this. We stole it from you."
We stole it from you. It's facts, though.
They didn't say that, Andy.
But also,
they didn't say they stole it. They said they
stole. No, MD, you're gonna say it like say it with the meaning. They did.
I don't look at it like that, bro. Because I don't think.
Nope.
I don't think you can steal a culture. I don't think that's possible.
So just because
you could plagiarize. Let's just say they plagiarize it. Then they plagiarize the culture. Is this typically what usually happens?
It's no plagiarizing either. It's a free country. It's a world of capitalism.
The money that they got off the black people.
our culture,
style? Did they give the black money back to the black community in any way? Is the question.
our culture is everybody else's property.
That
It's OPB. Other people.
so so
Other people's problem.
so what's your solution? Should we copyright hip hop or should we copyright how you go about doing that?
We don't have.
How do you monopolize the intellectual property of a genre? How do you do that?
You got Google running around.
Or food
Amazon.
or whatever the situation.
Or food.
Eminem, we wouldn't even know about Eminem if he was black.
Who
But
put
what
Eminem
about
on?
but what about like the blue-eyed soul people that came about that we didn't even know that they were actually white until after the fact? That's the other thing too. Like how would we know if they covered their face?
They will tell you where they got they inspiration from.
Back then, MD, they don't do that no more.
Well, I can't speak for now. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak for now. I'm just we talk
back then in the 50s and 40s and 30s and 20s. They tell you, yeah, I got it from Billy Joel over there. But now they're not gonna say that. They're gonna try to take credit for something they didn't invent. They guessed in the house that we built. Like Eminem said, I'm a guest in the house and I turn it into a mansion. You're still a goddamn guest.
Well, hey, I it's a point of contention. At the end of the day, if it's something to sell, it's gonna get sold.
That's
so. To he's the point. With the blue eyed soulful singers, I was like, sometimes I didn't even know until like for example, Soul Glow. You know what I mean? Like Coming to America.
Well, remember Bobby?
Yeah, I want to see that for Jesse as I'm freaking out his head. Right? I didn't know he was white.
I didn't know Bobby Caldwell was white.
Right. I didn't know right. I thought I better see that. I was singing to Jesse, like I was singing like with all my heart. So I saw a Tiny Desk thing, Tiny Desk studio session, and they were playing it as a white man. I didn't know that.
Blue-eyed soul people.
I had no idea. I was shocked and appalled. But did it stop me from singing it? No. Because in my mind, my eyes went back to black.
At the end of the day,
consumerism at its finest.
and that's what it is. At the end of the day, you can't stop inspiration and then reclassify it as theft. I'm not saying that you don't have those people that target black people to get ahead. Of course you do. But at the same time, you gotta respect the ones that's respecting you.
Okay, let's see this. So country music. Clearly FBA started country music. Why was going so hard on Beyonce when Beyonce did that country record? And these white folks
because we disassociated. We disassociated.
No, that's not what it was. No, I will tell you why, MD. Because when this discussion came up too, it's the fact that for them, certain people, if you're closed into a certain, I want to say like a bubble,
disassociated. Now, I just said we disassociated.
Right. Well, yeah, I guess you can say it. But if you're disassociated, as MD put it, for them, it's like, how dare you come into my space now? And like, what else are you going to try to hijack and take? Mind you, what am I hijacking when all along, the black culture was the one that brought it to the fore table. So you're now upset that a black person is now in the space, in the genre that you claim we're now taking over it when y'all been hijacking the whole time. Like it's one of those things where even at that point, I didn't even realize that her album was the reason why they split the best country album category in two, because they didn't want, for the first time ever, it was like, I think she got like a lot of nominations, she got a lot of wins, but that one particular win that she got for best country album really did a number on them, because they were like, oh, we can't have that anymore, so we should have like an urban country album section or best whatchamacallit. It was that detrimental to them. They don't want.
I thought it was because she looked better than any of them white ladies that speak country. You know, because she can tell, she has a nice little figure. She walking around. she ride a horse. You know, you're like, I thought it was that. They were just hating on her because you
Red,
know she looked nice.
in the red, white, and blue. That's what they try
I
to get
like that. You know, them Karens don't like when you know
red.
nice sister got
So,
rid of
so
it.
hey, real quick, cause we about to get ready to move on. It's
If
a
that's the
country
case,
singer
they
right
need to stop. White people need to stop eating peanut butter. If that's the case,
Word.
they better accept Beyonce.
It's a country artist right now. So I agree with you to a certain extent, Ricardo, but they actually had to split the category. You know,
Why?
it's a lot of it's a
Why?
lot of country artists right because it's a lot of country artists right now that's doing collabs with rappers. It's an artist right. I'm dead serious. It's an artist right
I
now.
didn't.
They what?
No, I was gonna say I didn't even realize like so is so what? But the question now, MD, is why? Because then you have Jelly Roll, and then you have Joe. What is his name? Joe Malone, whatever his damn name is. Because I could have swore he did rap. Now he's doing country. Next thing you know, he's doing pop. I don't know what genre he fits in. So now apparently he's doing country now. So that's the thing. So
So it's a country artist right now. Grayson Waller. My kids listen to Grayson Waller, bro.
Oh my God.
And I'm be honest, he got some good music.
And what
He basically do country music to rap beats.
to
And
hillbilly
some of
music.
it be some of it be jazz.
a lot of them are
I don't understand. You saw a brother doing music. I don't get it.
So is
That's
it
Some
all
of it be jamming. I ain't gonna front.
is it
right. I heard some good ass Southern brothers just and you know be melodic with it. I was like, I didn't realize that was country. I just thought they was just singing. You know?
is it still country at this point though? Or is it something else?
Now you go country. I was
Well,
like,
I mean,
I have no idea. I have no idea.
hey man, it is what it is, bro. At some point, you just gonna have to accept, hey, look, we gonna have to do what we have to do in our power in order to make sure that we the ones monopolizing the culture. Again, the only way that you gonna gatekeep the culture is through your pocket. That's it.
Right, I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
We should stop
That,
culture vultures. Hands down.
you know,
Supporting them.
all I tell you is good luck with that. Because capitalism always gonna find a way to make his pay.
Just sell
So
out.
the white boy, Jim Lee, who rap and talking about the music, right? And he's so ugly and fat with red hair. Did he get a pass? Because he allegedly made music.
I got one. We're not saving them no more, MD.
Right, the cape is off. Hold on, lift that on fire. No.
Hey, all right, man. Because it's getting late. Let's move on to the next video. Let me see. Let me see where I'm at. Yeah, let me move on to the next video, and I'll get y'all thoughts on the other side.
President Trump is ordering a full review of one of the nation's most cherished museums after saying it focuses too much on, quote, how bad slavery was. And he wrote this: the Smithsonian is out of control, where everything discussed is how horrible our country is, how bad slavery was, and how unaccomplished the downtrodden have been. Nothing about success. Nothing about brightness, nothing about the future, and we are not going to allow this to happen. And I have instructed my attorneys to go through the museums and start the exact same process that has been done with colleges and universities, end quote. For more on this, I want to bring in Ibram X. Kendi, a professor of history at Howard University here in Washington. Ibram, thanks so much for joining us. First of all, what's your reaction to this latest post about the Smithsonian from President Trump?
Well, first, I would say most of our public museums in the United States actually do not show how truly bad slavery was, because I think most Americans can't handle just the sheer agony, the sheer terror, the sheer violence it took to keep people enslaved their whole lives, laboring against their will, or to, most Americans can't really handle the agony of seeing children taken from their parents, or or seeing the amount of terror that was required to keep millions of people enslaved. And so that, to me, as an historian, is actually what's quite interesting about this notion that it shows it's the way that the Smithsonian is presenting slavery.
I want you to listen, Professor, to what President Trump actually said. And I remember this back in 2017 during his first term. He had just been elected president when he visited the National Museum of African American History and Culture here in Washington. Listen to this.
This museum is a beautiful tribute to so many American heroes. It's amazing to see. We did a pretty comprehensive tour, but not comprehensive enough. Solani, I'll be back. I told you that. Because I could stay here for a lot longer, believe me. It's really incredible. This tour was a meaningful reminder of why we have to fight bigotry, intolerance, and hatred in all of its very ugly forms.
So what do you think, Professor? What do you think changed from then, back in 2017, to now?
So what changed is the problem. And so now this president is insinuating that the problem are those people who are trying to accurately render this nation's past. While back in 2017, the quote unquote problem was different. And I think so the politics of the now, the politics of this moment has been to essentially defend enslavers, has been to make it seem as if slavery wasn't that bad, to make it seem as if everyone was against slavery, when in actuality, most Americans who were anti-slavery were as rare and ridiculed as Americans today who are striving to be anti-racist.
Ibram X. Kendi, thanks so much for joining us, Professor of History at Howard University here in Washington.
Mike, I know you have conversations about cultural issues like this all the time on your show. So what kind of a reaction are you hearing to this story?
Frustration. There's a lot of frustration out there. There's a lot of individuals who feel like there is an erasure that is happening of history. But also, too, a lot of individuals are feeling there is this anti-Blackness dynamic that is happening. And if you look at it, it started bubbling up to the surface when you start seeing the affirmative action cases going before the Supreme Court. It was very much a Black person is taking away my spot. I know I had to deal with that when I was at the University of Michigan. One of the first cases against Bollinger was actually my freshman year, where one of the defendants said that a Black person took her seat. And so the tension that caused being on campus. And then you see what's happening, too, with this anti-DEI movement, right? There's always the idea that a Black person's unqualified, but we're not looking at the full scope and spectrum of what DEI actually is, and actually is dealing with those who have certain disabilities and capabilities, too, as well as women. But for some reason, Blackness is the viewpoint of it. And now you're looking at the Smithsonian Museum. In particular, there are other museums that are being impacted by this. But again, we're looking at the Smithsonian's African American Museum. When you attribute the word woke, somehow woke has been meant to represent Blackness. And so there is this movement when you see all these data points that's really starting to add up. It's like this anti-Blackness movement, right? And even when you travel around, me particularly around the world, I encounter individuals who are applying to college universities, and there's this idea that white kids can't get in because a Black kid is taking their spot. There's this pervasive dynamic that is existing that just isn't true. The data just doesn't suggest that. If you look at schools like University of Michigan, alma mater, 115,000 applicants applied last year for a space of like 4,000 seats. It's a numbers game, right? And so there is this nuance that is not being addressed as we make this so binary, so ones and zeros, and so black and white.
Now, President Trump says, and I'm quoting here, everything discussed, he's talking about the museum, is how how horrible our country is, how bad slavery was, how unaccomplished the downtrodden have been. Nothing about success, nothing about brightness, nothing about the future. Do you think it's possible to focus too much on the mistakes of the past and not enough on the successes? And do you think that's happening? Is it possible that's happening at the Smithsonian Museums?
I think even the premise of that, there's a misunderstanding, and particularly even when you go to a National African American Museum, to which I have, there's incredible floors, but it takes you through a journey. There's celebration, there's triumphs, but you can't have celebration and triumphs without having complications, right? There's this narrative out there that a rose grows out of concrete, right? And so we can't ignore that America is complicated. America has a complicated history, right? But this idea, particularly when it comes to our democracy and to voting, is that we vote to make this imperfect union more perfect, right? And so how can you talk about history without talking about slavery, Diane? Like, how can you talk about women's suffrage, right, if you don't talk about the 14th Amendment? And the reason why I come into the 14th Amendment, because the 14th Amendment was to enfranchise black men so that they could have a place to vote. There was debate and discussion on whether or not what women's suffrage and their frustration about not being included, but there was another debate on the other side, particularly W. Du Bois, who said, no, let this go forward as a place of advancements. So you can't talk about women's suffrage and women's right to vote without talking about the 14th Amendment. You can't talk about the 14th Amendment we're talking about right now, a policy around immigration and birthright citizenship. That was fundamentally because and birthed out of slavery. So how can we talk about even current issues and policy today if you want to ignore slavery? You can't talk about cryptocurrency and digital currency right now if we don't talk about the fundamentals of capitalism and what Wall Street was founding on, which was slaves. Slaves were the original commodity. When you think about insurance and mortgages were taken out on slave mortgages. So the fundamentals of American capitalism and Wall Street was built on slavery and the notion of slavery. You can't talk about America's agricultural advancements if you can't talk about slavery, because the enslaved people brought those techniques over from the continent of Africa to what we have right now of the cotton industry. You can't talk about the way that we're able to wear cotton t-shirts and cotton material without the cotton gin, which was invented by an enslaved person. You can't talk about the great music that we enjoy of jazz, of blues, of gospel, of house music if you don't talk about the enslaved movement that came from the delta of the Mississippi. So those are all the things that comes out of slavery. You can't discuss Civil War. How do you explain Civil War without the fundamentals of what Civil War was fought on, which was about slavery at its core, about states' rights and secessions, right? And so when you think about the politics of it, when you think about the economics of it, when you think about the innovation of it, it starts with slavery. And you can't talk about architecture and the way that we love to celebrate individuals like Frank Gehry. If you don't talk about the ways that the slaves built the nation's capital, all the monuments that we love and revere and that is being guarded right now by the National Guard, those were built by slavery, right? And so you can't talk about all these things if you don't talk about it. So you have to talk about both, even if you're uncomfortable. That is the point of history. That is the point of museums. That is the point of art, to have robust scholarship and scholarly debate on these topics.
And Mike, the American Alliance of Museums says the president, his actions represent a growing threat of censorship against American museums. When you look at how this plays out, what's your best case and worst case scenario?
The best case scenario, as I can say, is that the president has a right, because the Smithsonian is underneath the federal government, so he has the right to do what he wants to do by executive order. But it's incumbent and important on American citizens who really believe in the value of history that they continuously to teach it in their own ways. I'm leaning more so into the arts community right now and media to create more content and more storytelling to ensure that the history doesn't get erased because of a museum.
All right, so we see what's going on with the Smithsonian right now. You know, if it goes down the way it goes down, I think it's a tragedy. But I've been hearing different takes on it. I heard a take, and like I said, I don't listen to this dude, but as I was researching, I listened to the video. I disagree with him wholeheartedly. There's a notion that Trump is doing a lot of this stuff to try to trigger some kind of emotion to black people. I don't agree with that at
Nope.
all.
Nope.
I don't think he's trying to trigger an emotion. It's not Trump. How long have
Thank
we
you.
been saying this,
It's
Ricardo
not.
and Vec?
It's not
Trump
him.
he's not smart enough to come up
It's
with this shit.
definitely not. No, he's not. We're giving him way too much credit. The man is a doofus. I keep telling y'all, stop giving him too much credit. He's not that smart. He really is not. He's not intellectually sound. He just comes off like that. If you repeat yourself multiple times, does not make you smart. I'm sorry, it does not. and I'll just end
Hey,
there. But go ahead, MD.
no, you right, man. It's not to trigger any emotion. This is a systematic takedown of blackness in and of itself. I don't give a damn what nobody say. He can talk about
Hella facts.
trying to go save the black women in Chicago all he wants to, which I should have put that in here because that was a farce.
Yeah, that was beyond a farce. You can't do that. Then what are you doing?
So he can say all this shit to black Trump supporters that he wants. The goal of the Heritage Foundation and Project 2025 is to erase us. Not physically. That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about to erase our very existence as it pertains to our freedoms and liberties. That's where I'm at with it at this point. You could always say, "Oh, black people can have their own museum." Hey, good luck, bro. That's all I can tell you.
We do have.
Do you know how much like the stuff that needs to be curated
And they
and
still
yeah, you're right, Ricardo. Go
this
ahead, Ricardo.
this
Yeah,
no
go ahead.
they still gonna find a way to vandalize. They still gonna find a way to come in and do their nonsense that they usually would do. Nothing should surprise anyone here. Nothing.
They did the same thing to
Nothing
the
else.
History Museum. Serena Sheed opened up the Hidden History Museum in Los Angeles. They did that exact same thing. They vandalized it, tried to shut it down, tried to get code enforcement on it, permit enforcement, all of that. If they want to do eminent domain, they will.
I want to say something, Jesse, but out of respect to you, bro, I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it.
Okay.
Don't he supposed to be doing some type of comedy show?
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it alone. Hey, go ahead, Jesse. Go ahead.
As far as this, they're just trying to elicit. I think they are trying to elicit a response out of us, emotional response. Like this is all the Democrats have at this point. It's fear mongering.
Wait, hold on. What the Democrats ain't got nothing to do with this, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
That don't work for me, brother.
It's the Democrats that's running around talking about he's trying to erase us.
How do you get what we've seen and correlate that with the Democratic Party? That's a hell of a reach, man.
CNN is Democrat Central, DNC Central.
You sound like a Trump puppet. You speaking propaganda right now. You're saying the same verbatim stuff that Trump says. That don't even sound like real words. What you saying right now?
And not to say the Democrats don't have their faults, but that ain't it though, Jesse. I'm sorry, but it's more than that. I feel like what's that guy's name that's beside him now? That his wife is from Florida. I can't remember his damn name. The one that has that weird old bald head.
Oh, you talking about Tim Scott, right?
Not Tim Scott. The other one.
No. He talking about
Trump's advisor.
Yeah, he talking about the advisor to policy, Stephen Miller.
There we
Stephen
go.
Miller.
Miller. That is all Miller. I'm sorry, but if y'all read between the lines, that is all him. And he is very, very particular about certain things that he says that I'm now beginning to realize that he then triggers it back to Trump, which then he then does the dirty work as the puppet master to then, get their and this is all from Project 2025. I just don't understand where they do they think that black people are just gonna go, oh my god, we're so riled up. This has always been the case. In fact, I have kids that come home with friggin' homework that sound like God he knows what. Like it sounds like pretend, I don't even know what to even call it, where they're like, oh, the slaves were just hurt a little bit. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, are you kidding me right now? The slaves were hurt a little bit? No, the slaves were literally like between being demonized, destroyed, raped. Like, are you kidding? You can't. The thing about it is this country has got to like get a grasp on. It's either you're gonna confront the fact that you did this, and I'm speaking for all those white folks because believe it or not, I did speak to somebody who's from the Midwest, who they were taught completely different than how we would like teach stuff because they were placed in a bubble. Again, they don't know because of how they were taught that certain things happen. They just think that black people are a particular way and they say this because they can do, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Are you subjugating everybody, every black person in the same thing? Like, we're not monolith. Like, what are you guys doing? So apparently this person didn't realize, because again, they grew up in a religious background in terms of what they were taught. This is what they were taught in schools, and it's dangerous because the rhetoric that they teach then follows, because then the other people behind them start believing in the crap. And this is what they're starting to do in schools, to try to do the influence of the propaganda of, oh, the slaves they weren't hurt that much. It was just a little bit of hurt. And they were given food, and they were given a little bit of shelter. And I don't know, like, what are we doing? Like, this has got to be like South Africa, where they were like, this is what apartheid did. This is, we're gonna have to tackle it. Like, this is what literally happened, and now we're gonna move forward. Until they start doing that, it's just gonna keep going around the merry-go-round of the Millers and the whatnots and the propaganda and the foolishness of, oh, we're gonna come in, and the museum, it's not showing anything of progressive wise. It's just showing all the sad and the hurt of the past. Of course, it's gonna show that. And the guy was right. The one thing I would agree with him is, there's a lot of subject in regards to what has happened in the past that a lot of white people cannot confront. They just don't like the idea of being placed in that position of, oh my God, this is what we did. And then another thing is, I don't know if we tackled this before in the segment of the show, but do white people have a culture? That's the other thing. They seem to want to,
They don't.
you know,
They
but
don't.
that's the thing. They want to always come into black spaces, but then they don't want black people in their space, and then they want to. It's a back and forth nonsense that I just don't understand. Until this country, white folks, I'm talking to y'all in particular, confront what has happened to the past, or in the past, with black people in general in terms of slavery, you will never move forward, because it's gonna be the one stumbling block that's gonna always make you feel uncomfortable. Face that uncomfortableness, and then go forward. You just can't do it, and they will not confront it. That's the issue.
White people culture is like tofu. It needs all the
No
other stuff
seasoning.
on it to make it have a
That
taste.
Right.
it's no, they white people don't have a culture because it's no such thing as white.
Thank you.
When we say white people, we talking about Irish, which does have a culture. We talking about German, which does have a culture. We talking about Anglo-Saxon, that's a culture.
But mind
No
you,
such thing as white.
but MD, the Irish weren't even categorized as white though. Weren't they like the lowest of the lowest
Well,
of the totem pole?
I'm talking about in generality, as far as like
Yeah, I know.
the
I'm just
modern
messing
the
with you.
modern the modern definition. When we say white people,
I'm
we're
just messing
talking
with you.
about, yeah, it's all good. We're talking about the totality of the different white ethnic groups in the country. That's just what it is. So Jesse, let me ask you. So again, like I said, I saw Philip Scott's video. Philip Scott was saying that this was a scare tactic to try to get us into a vulnerable position. Expound on that, and why do you believe that?
Why do I believe that? We brought the Democrats to their knees last November. They put up almost $2 billion just to lose. So they're desperate. Midterms is next year. They want to reclaim the House and try to capture the Senate so they can issue articles of impeachment against Trump. That's their goal. And they figure, if we keep screaming Orange Man bad, he's trying to erase us. He's trying to get rid of us in the figurative sense, not in the literal sense.
Right.
And that's going to get black people back on the Democratic plantation.
So we always talk about voting our interest, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't our interest be like to keep our shit? I'm trying to figure this out, and I'm all for getting Trump the fuck up out of here. That don't necessarily mean that I'm back on the Democratic plantation. Why,
Exactly.
if we say vote our interest, what does that mean?
Something that's specifically for us. And to date,
So wouldn't the museum be specifically for us though?
Right.
In a symbolic sense, all they offer
So I mean,
is symbolism. There's not really nothing tangible to that. Do we own the museum? Do we control what goes into the museum? Do we control?
Yeah, they
So
got a black
I just
curator.
I just want to say this. So it's vitally important that information, history, and knowledge be known about things. Because what Ricardo
Facts.
talked about, he talked about these guys from other areas. They doing a complete bubble. They didn't know things, and they had a preconceived notion of what black is and what black was about, which is
Correct.
always wrong. We have media where movies, books, TV, everything, music portrays black in a certain way, even though that may represent like 2% of the black community. I ain't never killed nobody. I ain't never stuck up
Yeah, I
no
ain't a
store or whatnot.
gangbanger. Right. None of that
Right, right.
nonsense.
And I can't find 42 people like that that's near me. So the idea that that blacks are this way, it comes from a certain place. So when you lose the museum and showing all the cultural things that have happened to blacks, and you take that away, now you really screwed. Because what are you going on? Myths and folklores. There's a major lack of people not knowing stuff, but an even worse lack of people not trying to know stuff.
That's
So
the
we have
problem.
to have those things. If you don't, you're screwed. And Donald Trump will take away things, and he will act like it's not a big deal. Blah blah blah. Anybody that's black that don't see the importance in this, this is why we are where we are.
What is
The
he?
new niggas out here, the new niggas out here, they're not like Martin Luther King. They're not like Malcolm X.
They're getting
These new
distracted.
niggas out here, they just think that you align yourself with Whitey in some fashion and you'll be rewarded down the road. That just ain't happening, man. That ain't
Seeking
happening.
their
These new niggas got
approval.
to realize that.
Yep. Enough of the seeking approval nonsense. Enough of that crap. Because again, what do I always say every time I'm on this show? They don't want you in their space. They can't even stand it when you're in a higher position than them. It becomes a bigger even issue for them because it's like, okay, why is this black guy in a I told you guys a story of how I have a uncle who actually flies for a major airline and he's a captain. And every single time he flies and he gives an order, it's like they have to go to someone else. Oh, he just told you he's the captain, right? He's in charge of the plane. He is the one that commands this entire aircraft. Why are you coming to me? Oh, we just want to make sure. What do you need to make sure of? He's the one that makes the decisions, and it's always been. It's like it's a consistent nonsense over and over again. It's beyond ignorance. It's ingrained. And this
Right.
is why I always say to people, again, it's going to be up to, and we keep getting distracted by nonsense. It's going to be up to you, the people that have kids behind, to teach them the history now. It's not about we allowing schools to do that. They're not going to do that anymore. It's up to you now to start teaching them about the importance of what, the contributions black people have done in history, because that's what they're trying to erase. What else would you find
Hey,
to
Ricardo,
Hmm?
I told you, bro. It's gonna get to a point messing around with MAGA Maniac. They're gonna be teaching our kids in school that we come from a distant planet. We're gonna be like Alien Nation. We're gonna be
It's
like
already
you.
beginning.
You guys,
You
you
remember
guys saw.
Alien Nation?
Oh yeah,
It's already
alienation.
started.
Yeah.
It's sudden.
Yeah, we're gonna be the newcomers.
You saw that the Trump administration is putting out that course for schools from
The
PragerU.
cartoons, right?
Right,
Yeah,
talking about
PragerU.
how
Yeah.
slavery was not that big a deal. Like that's already in implementation, and they have their YouTube channel. Like this corny ass stuff is becoming reality. And like we're like sleeping on it right now. We're like
It's
worried
crazy.
about other things, and like this bigger thing is happening right now in front of us in real time.
Okay, so we
Can I say something?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Lady Chase. Go ahead. And then Chase
Um,
follow
I
up.
thought, I thought like, but what what you're saying about, it being up to us to teach our children, you know, um, proper Black history, the ins and outs, the all everything that goes with it, right? And what we're going through today. At this point, yeah, it's going to be up to us to back that up because the more that AI develops,
Oh
the
yeah.
more that they use that, they're already erasing things,
Correct.
from the history, from just proper history. Like Jesse, for example, called out one of the previous mayors, right? And I remember reading in an article, what that particular mayor did. But a lot of people remembered that seen it in the newspaper. But if you ask like ChatGPT or Google to look it up, it's not there. It didn't exist. It didn't happen. It's like the Mandela effect. Um, and that's terrible. That's why, like, when we talk about those DNA tests and things like that, like when I do my show on the RBA, I did a 60-minute special about how they just collect the data, sell it to their competitors, and you get the incentive of learning that you got a little leaf light up and a possible ancestor, set da, right? And they're just selling it over and over and over again, keeping your actual DNA, and Lord knows what doing what with it, right? And 60 Minutes covered it, and they said it out loud. But you let these people tell it, they want to sell you a product for like $39.99 a month just to utilize the thing, so you can see little leaves pop up. Come on now, so it's
So
going to be
so
up to
on the
and
screen right here,
um,
this is a picture from the late 1800s of a black family in slavery time. This is what they're gonna be telling your ass. And they go to
right,
white man hugging the mama. That's what they're gonna be telling. We came from we the newcomers. We came from a
right.
distant planet, and
Hmm.
everything was well. We start trading with one another and doing household chores and tilling the land. And
Right.
we actually
And we
showed the
love
white man a trick or two when it came to crops and
right.
everything. And we all just lived as one. That's what they're
Yeah, we
gonna be
loved
telling
it. We
your
loved
black
it.
ass.
We didn't have to migrate or run off, and
Yeah.
none of that happened. Right? None of that happened. We were getting chewed up, our feet. Men weren't losing their manhood. And they
Fed
weren't
to
having picnics
alligators.
or whatnot. And yeah, children weren't being fed to alligators. Women lit on fire and stuff like that. None of that happened at all. None of that. It's like yeah. No, I see where it's going. I also thought that the Smithsonian was like one of those culprits that were guilty of stealing different artifacts and
They were.
backdating them. You know what I mean? And then putting them up there so everybody can be like, oh, this and that. But I also watched that news clip, that news segment where one of the white ladies was like, it was really horrible. But it's over now or something like that. It's like crazy like that. And it's like, look, you can't deal with your fragilities of this, of white guilt. And you want us to let it go, but it's actively happening to this day in like school to prison, convict leasing, they got the prisoners doing everything, you know what I mean? And nobody knows about it. It's horrible. It's like, come on now, look, we're losing everything. And they will be like, well, you just gotta let it go. And why should we have to pay reparations for something we weren't even involved in? Come on now, like, and children are like, well, that was a long time ago. And so, that kind of stuff doesn't happen as they get to go around and continuously harass black children as little white children. You know what I mean? And black children can't say nothing because, oh my God, you're hurting the little white boy's feelings. He can't apologize for what he said. You know what I mean? Come on now. This is terrible. This is terrible. But what Trump is saying, I believe it was fed into that. He was fed into it because how you go into that specific museum in 2017 have a whole different feeling. Come this time, nothing's really changed. They probably added a couple of artifacts, maybe that they stole or dug up and backdated to BC or what I mean? Like whatever, right? Said it was found there, but really it was found under a plantation mound. Come on now, like it's ridiculous. And he feels some kind of way about it. Like, no, No, sir. No, sir. You don't get to get away with that. And with the bald white man, what is it? What's his name?
Stephen
The
Miller.
Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller said some crazy thing like one day, like last week, talking about black people haven't been safe in DC and now they can feel safer. Something crazy like that. And I was like, that's like word vomit. These probably getting calls from the Grand Wizards, like, oh now Stephen, you don't go too far now. You know what I mean? Like he was doing black
Speaking of
people a favor.
Washington,
Yeah.
speaking of Washington, just today, uh, DC just filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration for the handling of, and that was crazy because Muriel Bowser, she looked like she was all for what was going on. You ain't heard a
Yep.
peep from Muriel Bowser,
Yeah.
the mayor of Washington D.C. Now all of a
Mhm.
sudden they done sued the Trump administration. So we gonna see where that go. Hey Ricardo, real quick, a sidebar because you mentioned, like I said, you got children that
Yes,
go
sir.
to Florida public school. I
They
wanted to
do.
bring this up real quick before we get to the duck. Hey, I gotta find it. Hold on, wait a minute. Give me a second. What the hell just happened to it? Oh, here we go.
There we go.
So
Was
you
that
just
was
saw that this
that
came out. The Florida Surgeon General says state will eliminate all vaccine mandate. So basically, in the state of Florida, you ain't got to get no shot. You ain't got
That
to do
is
shit.
correct.
Just go to school. You know what I'm saying? And
Gonna be a bunch
kids
of
gonna be
sick
put.
ass kids up in there.
Yes, there is. That's already started.
Yeah,
So
and then you got the aliens in there too that brought measles and chickenpox and all kinds of polio and stuff that we haven't seen in God knows decades. I mean, look, you're talking about the Black Plague going on in the
if
U.S. right now.
I'm telling you right now,
Yeah.
if this goes through, you're gonna start seeing polio sprout back up.
Oh, of
It will.
Right.
course. Among other things.
We all know
Among
that.
other things.
Everything is
The
going to be
Black
coming back
Plague,
up.
like she said.
It
Where
really
did that?
cases. Legitimate cases. I was like, for real? Like that's crazy work right there. That's diabolical.
Yeah,
Like who brought
yeah.
that?
They not too smart now. The Trump administration is not too smart. RFK is a dumbass, man. He needs to be out of here, man.
Yeah,
He
I
that's
needs
a
to be
mean,
whole
out.
nother
public school, you gotta
conversation
get
about today.
vaccinated.
Like,
Public
Yeah, we
school.
gonna get into
we're gonna have to do an episode on that, MD. Because
it's
I don't.
coming next week, bro. It's coming next week.
Yeah, I have no idea what he said today. The only thing I will say I agree with him on, and this has always been a hit and miss with Trump and his peoples. He did mention because like most people don't know I have a child that has a disability and that's autism. And he did bring up a lot of things where there's a lot of things where we have to question now, like in terms of what it is that we've seen a huge uptick and spike in autism when it comes to kids. Is it because of them putting in too much things in certain foods or what? Because it's crazy. I've never known that in almost every one or two person I've spoken to, their children have autism as well. It wasn't the case years ago or a decade ago. So
Of
I
where is this
course,
disagree with
often
that,
coming from?
of
Ricardo.
course.
I disagree, bro. I
It's all.
disagree.
It's the food and the water.
Well, what do
I
you disagree with?
it wasn't that it was a
It was
uptick
suppressed.
in the diagnosis. It wasn't suppressed
But
either. It was misdiagnosed. That's all.
okay, okay, I agree with you with that one. That is a good point. That is a
It
good
was
point.
misdiagnosed.
Look,
Remember,
in
it wasn't no
Mississippi,
such thing as autism 20 years ago. That
It
didn't
wasn't.
exist.
Yeah,
It was
it was a different
Asperger's
word for it.
disease.
Yep, it would come up with a whole bunch of stuff for it. That's what they wanted to
And
label my
when they
daughter.
changed when they changed the classifications with the what they call the book, the damn, I forget what they call it. The disorders and all that, when they changed that stuff,
Yeah, I am.
a lot of kids, what you say, Jesse?
The DSM.
Yeah, DSM. When they changed the DSM, a lot of kids got either misdiagnosed or not diagnosed at all.
Mm.
So
yeah,
that's a hiccup on the federal government fault.
That's a
yeah,
tragedy.
It is a
and in
tragedy.
Mississippi, black children or black children don't even make it to a year. They got 15.5 percent higher of black infant mortality. That's crazy work right there. The babies don't even make it to like a year You know what I mean? And you
Well,
really got to
different
want.
states got different dynamics. They got different dynamics.
Right.
Mississippi is a poor-ass state. That's just what it is.
Is that the excuse, MD? Is that what it is?
I mean,
No,
it's
that's
part
for
of it, yeah.
healthcare. But what are they doing to the
Well,
women? There's not being able to, not being able to hold a baby, but when the baby come out, what are they doing to? What's the reasoning that black babies can't make it? Like, come
well,
on, man. First there
well,
was no formula, but what's wrong with mother's milk?
well.
Black women are known to give mother's milk. We fed other people's other race children.
But
If
one
it
of the
was only
things,
that simple, it ain't. But
yeah,
go
this.
ahead. What you say?
No, I was gonna say, like, in terms of this is the one of the things where Black people in general, when it comes to healthcare or when it comes to maternity, in this particular country, because this is where I need the distraction and all the nonsense that we keep hearing to seize an end. When it came to my wife having my kids in the hospital, I put my foot down. It wasn't a question of I'm not going to be in that emergency room. I'm going to be in there when you're making decisions. Do not tell my wife, because there's been instances where I see particular physicians, or I would rather say the white ones, want to be speaking and talking. Don't you dare speak to my woman like that. I will cut you in pieces. And there was circumstances where the nurses were like, no, it's okay, that it's okay. I know, and I see. No, you will not speak to her like that. Oh, your mom. You gotta do that. No, no, no. It's traumatic enough for her to be going through a cesarean cut. I don't need you to make the thing or the situation even more worse. So shut your ass up. Go over there if you need to, and make somebody else take over the job. I don't need you to speak to her anymore. And if you speak to her one more time, I'm gonna knock your ass out in here. And that's that's the
Who
type
gonna
of.
deliver the baby, Ricardo? You gonna deliver the damn baby?
It's not about delivering the baby. It's about how you do the way
How
they
they care
speak
for
to
her.
Black women in
Yep.
general. It's one of those things where Black men have to like interject themselves,
Yep.
because there's
That's
moments where
true. That's
That's why
they
I
true,
will
bring
make
Ricardo.
Jesse.
they will
That's why I
That's
make
bring
the
true.
Jesse.
they will tell you, oh, this is the best situation, and you have to step in, and because at one point they wanted me to abort my child, and I said, oh fuck no. I said, where do you get off from telling me to abort my child at 36 weeks? Like, which
Jesus.
textbook did you read? And they were like, oh well, the textbook. I said, that's textbook. What is the real life situation that
That's
made you
that's able to
come
be born. That's a born baby right there. You can have a baby right. You can come out
exactly?
now.
And that's what I said. And I said, if you don't, if I didn't put my foot down, they would have wanted me to abort my child. I said, not under my dead body. That's when my conservative beliefs came into play, because I thought it was always liberal. I said, no. I knew from the moment that he said, or that the doctor told me, mind you, he was like, I'm so sure that your child is going to end up with Asperger's. She's not going to be walking or talking. Fuck you, because my child is actually walking and talking and singing right now. And there's not a goddamn thing that every single time I had the opportunity to bring my child, I brought my child back to say, this is the child you wanted me to abort. Remember that? You remember when you said the textbook told you that's that I needed to do? This is not what you're supposed to be telling actual clients. And this is the problem that the Black community faces when it comes to maternity or anything related to childbirth. We're not interjecting enough to ask for second opinions, or
Oh,
saying
yeah.
we're going to put our foot down. We need to start doing that. Stop allowing these people to tell us how to be conceiving our children.
Damn right.
They don't care.
Damn right.
They really don't give
They
a damn.
they
And
So I
that's
bring
what
told
the,
they
Jesse.
told me they told
I bring
me when
Jesse
my
for all my
twins was
meds.
born. They told me when my twins were born that they came from the depths of hell.
oh
So I was
wow.
like,
What?
they was
Oh wow.
You
The
better damn.
audacity you have.
that was a
Man,
joke. Y'all
Hey,
didn't
they
understand the
Jesse
joke. Never
outside.
mind.
No, I got
Let
it.
me
I got
move.
it. No, I got
No,
the
but
joke.
Speaking
no,
of the
no,
depths
no.
of hell, speaking of the depths of hell,
I
it
was
is
about to
time.
lose it. I was about to lose it, MD.
Jesse comes with me. I got Jesse to come with me, because if it's not for Jesse, I would have died already by like maybe 10 times by now. I have to bring Jesse because Jesse has
Damn, what
that
happened to my car?
man
What the hell?
voice. Yeah, he got the bass in his voice. Once he says something like, "Yeah, we need a black doctor in here," that's not just a little bit of blood, or what are you thinking? I would never have gotten well. I would have never gotten better. I would have died like what 10 times by now,
Oh,
right,
they
Jesse?
go to
Represent
gong. You know what that gong
representation.
means.
Representation matters, by the way,
You.
madam.
I was gonna let you finish up, Lady J. I was gonna let you finish up.
I don't know what the gong means, but I'm sorry. I just said I have to bring
No,
Jesse.
it ain't you. No, I said you could. Yeah,
No, it's
finish
not.
up.
No,
finish
no,
up.
the gong means the duck coming.
The name duck is coming.
You
Yeah,
can finish,
Carrie,
Lady
go
J.
ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I said if it wasn't for Jesse interjecting or saving me or telling them, telling the doctors, what it is, I would have died several times. You know what I mean? Yeah, several times.
That's crazy.
And see, that's another example, just like with Ricardo, that black people have to fight for respect with doctors, and then the decency to do a good job in delivering a baby. Like, black people shouldn't have to fight for that. That should just come standard practice.
No, we should not.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree.
Absolutely
with that.
right.
But hey, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached that time. Now,
Yes,
originally,
sir.
I wasn't even gonna have a duck this week because I knew the importance of the topic. But the duck told me, "What the hell you mean ain't gonna be no duck tonight?"
Yep.
He said he said you better go get your ass out there and find me a soul to reap. So as his servant, I ain't got no choice but to do it. Or I'm in hot water. I don't want to be in hot water by the duck. So with that being said, keeping in the spirit of black culture. Let's get into tonight's lame duck of the week. Trash bag human number 8. We already at 8, folks.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Y'all some duck war like a duck. Y'all some duck talk like a duck.
I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
Now a story lived by him to CNN is appearing now. Let me reassure you, the things that you will see in that story, those are not the words of Mark Robinson.
We finally beat Medicaid.
Thank you, President.
Hey, what just happened?
I have no idea.
I don't know. What,
man,
what
you
happened?
done did?
Man, I'm about to get pissed off. I didn't do nothing.
I thought you stopped it on purpose.
I thought you had something that you were just trying to say. or something.
Exactly. I thought you were gonna come in and say something. What happened, MG?
Man. The duck ain't. Hey, the duck is not happy, man. I don't know what's going on. This shit is
What
crazy.
you done did?
Rerun it back. Golly.
Y'all some duck war like a duck. Y'all some duck talk like a duck.
I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
Now a story lived by him to CNN is appearing now. Let me reassure you, the things that you will see in that story, those are not the words of Mark Robinson.
We finally beat Medicaid.
Thank you, President Biden, President Trump.
He's right, he did beat Medicaid, beat it to death.
Duck win like a dove. Feathers fly in the air. Water in here, water lit. Y'all some duck, yeah, you some duck. Y'all some duck, look like a dove.
I think black people are not irredeemable, but there just needs to be brutal honesty. It's like, look, these black people are really struggling, and they're turning into these maniacs. It seems like they don't do anything right. They're obnoxious, they're rude, they're inconsiderate, aggressive, cruel, and, look, nobody hates black people for being black. If there are people like that, I think that's exceedingly rare, and I don't consider myself one of them. The reason that people have negative attitudes about black people is because most people's interactions with black people are negative.
I think that Nick Fuentes is 100% true, or telling 100% truth for certain black people.
Who would have ever thought that black people would be thanking Nick Fuentes for calling out these black conservative grifters?
But this is a real nigga you're talking to.
Well, he is from Chicago, and Chicago always come up when these black conservative grifters are looking to confirm their negative racial biases.
You know the damage one ignorant Negro can do.
So I ran across another video of Brandon Tatum reacting to Nick Fuentes, and I found it to be even more comical than the last video. Not only do I find Nick Fuentes to be entertaining, but when he's getting at these black conservative grifters, he's also quite useful.
You know, I'm street late at night. Guess what you're looking for? Black people.
In Chicago.
And you equate that with danger. And it doesn't take a lot of them to spoil the whole bunch like that. And we just want black people to take accountability and say, look, I'm not a bad person. I'm not a bad person. It just seems that every time I encounter you people, for the most part, it's negative. And sometimes extremely negative, like I could get a gun in my face. You know, that's a problem. And people go, well, you are just loaded up with hatred and racism. It's like, I'm really not. I'm a really friendly person. I'm a really polite, friendly person. I give everybody a chance. But if I'm someplace and I see some black person walking in with their pants sagging and they can't articulate what their problem is or what they need, and they're rude and they're aggressive and I'm in fear for my life, like, yeah, I have a problem with all of that. And people go, and these black people go, well, you're racist. You're racist. It's like, no, I just hate inconsiderate behavior.
Pause. Now, I know this is a short notice. Can somebody pull the clip up of Nick Fuentes on Candace Owens' show when he said that he's racist? Because people are saying I'm racist, people are saying I'm racist. The things that you're saying is actually racist. You can't couple it by saying black people do this. I'm afraid about it when I see a black person. But then what about the black people you see that don't have saggy pants? Do you still believe that about them? African Americans in this country and in America, they commit half of the murders in this country and over half of the violent crimes in this country.
Nothing different from what you say, Brandon Tatum.
Because you're acting as if everybody you encounter is the thug. You don't encounter any reasonable black people. Then where are you living at that you don't encounter no normal black people? I've been all around the country, and yeah, some of them ends are dangerous, and you can be fearful of them. But that's not every black person.
Are you sure, Brandon Tatum? Because we're playing a game of odds here, and these are the odds that you present to your audience.
African Americans in this country and in America, they commit half of the murders in this country and over half of the violent crimes in this country. Birmingham, Alabama, around nothing but black people. Most people are normal. And then you got the thugs who you can look a mile away and be like, yep, that person right there ain't up to no good. But to say most encounters black people of this, it just comes across that way. And then he was on Candace Owens' show pretty much saying he was a racist. And that's why people think you're a racist.
He was on the Candace Owens show down talking interracial dating, which is why you're in your feelings right now.
And of course, he said a lot of other crazy stuff about black people. He said black people should be in jail for the most part. That's not like it's okay to say black people need to be held accountable for things that they do, that black people are, especially in these inner cities, are more violent. They need to be educated. I mean, make a preface to say in the inner cities and other things like that. That'll make it sound more normal.
Were you being specific when you said this?
African Americans in this country and in America, they commit half of the murders in this country and over half of the violent crimes. But when you try to blanket black people and say they should be incarcerated for the most part, you're losing touch with saying that you're not a racist. African Americans in this country and in America, they commit half of the murders in this country and over half of the violent crimes. Because he's not just categorizing violent behavior. Because if you ask Nick Fuentes today, and if he listened to this, he'd probably try to have an argument for it if somebody asked him. But if you ask him today, who's the biggest threat to America? He'll say black people. I can almost imagine that he would say black people. Who are the most dangerous people in America? Black people. No, there's not. African Americans in this country and in America, they commit half of the murders in this country and over half of the violent crimes in this country. It's these blue-head leftist nut jobs are the most dangerous people in America. Antifa, dangerous people in America. White liberals, and through legislation, will destroy this country. They are the most dangerous people. They will get you locked up, shadow banned. They force you to wear a mask. They do all of this stuff that's detrimental to the existence of America. They have power. They have influence. Black people don't even touch a candle to these white liberals, to be honest.
Hold on just 1 minute, Brandon Tatum. When was the last time that you ever felt threatened in the company of white liberals? Yes, I am a conservative, and I don't do this too often, but this one time I got to put the cape on for white liberals just for sake of argument. As much trash as I talk about white liberals, they never came threatening my life in defense of other white liberals. But card-carrying neo-Nazis called into my show threatening my life when coming to your defense. I don't see white liberals on social media threatening to eradicate black people in some race war.
I did see many of comments in your chat room by your followers who say that they're ready to take up arms and eliminate black people. It is not white liberals who make your comment section look like a transcript from a Klan rally. You say that all black people are not the same when Nick Fuentes stated that he feared violent black people? Are you the exception to the violent and lawless thug that he speaks of?
Is that black? Is that black on black crime? Is that black?
I told you. Everybody on your live stream know you's a. And when I see you, I'm whooping your ass.
Are you really not the violent and lawless thug that's talked about on Fox News whenever a black person commits a violent crime? In this case, I'm going to have to use your line to say that facts don't care about your feelings. We got you in 4K crashing out on the World Wide Web threatening to beat up a black man because he destroyed you in an online debate. So you have no grounds to stand on when you scold people about black on black crime. Speaking of standing, the only part of your anatomy that's familiar with footwear is your tongue, bootlicker. You are the embodiment of the violent and lawless thug that you make all black men out to be in front of your audience. But wait, there's more. Are we going to sit here and pretend that we didn't see you shove a woman who was no physical threat to you? Roll the tape. From looking at that video, that woman posed no threat to you at that moment in time, and you went and put hands on her just out of sheer frustration. That action alone should solidify what kind of man you really are. Nick Fuentes was talking about black men like you in that regard. You are a single mother-raised violent thug who acts on impulse, and the scary part is that someone trusted you to wear a badge. I'll say it again. Any man that puts his hands on a woman out of frustration is a coward in my book. I don't care if she was a liberal woman. I'm willing to bet if that white liberal woman saw you getting jumped by the crowd of people that you entertained, then she'd take an ass whooping trying to save your black ass. And you went on to brag about shoving a woman like you did something heroic. Where was that same energy when I saw you at Blackset here in South Carolina when we made eye contact and you immediately left the room? I wasn't trying to get violent in the church, and the only thing I wanted to do was talk to you. However, if you shoved my 6'7" ass like you shoved that woman, then I would have made you my frisbee when I sent your ass flying. You're the same Brandon Tatum who justified the death of Ahmaud Arbery at the hands of those saltine savages. You and Candace Owens brought up the fact that Ahmaud Arbery was wearing khaki pants and not jogging shorts. He wasn't wearing baggy pants, nor was he dressed like a thug, and he wasn't much of a threat if he was running from the cowards who took his life. Nah, don't be upset that Nick Fuentes gave his bigoted point of view when it's people who think like Nick Fuentes that you built your platform to pander to. Are you upset that racist people are not hiding behind you any longer to say what they can say now for themselves? This freedom of speech that you push for is really putting you out of a job. You wouldn't even be having this conversation if Nick Fuentes didn't upset you with a stance on interracial dating.
What? Mayonnaise on the elbow.
Sell your ass out.
Mayonnaise on the elbow.
Okay, what does that even mean?
Mayonnaise on the elbow.
The only thing that Nick Fuentes had to do was give you a mirror, and I will finish the job by holding that same mirror to your face.
It says I'm 102% African with a 2% margin of error. Why, Lord? Why, Lord? Why?
Your entire platform is centered around anti-black hatred, so don't come crying now that your chickens have come home to roost.
Because we niggas, both of us, and that's all we ever gonna be.
Especially when it was you and Candace Owens who played an active role in making this type of racist rhetoric mainstream. What direction did y'all think this was going to go in while you were online rage baiting? Don't scream that the house is on fire when it was you who decided to burn a cross in your living room. This is a video that you produced 2 months ago titled Why White People Are Tired of Black People. It's funny how 2 people on this panel ended up on Nick Fuentes' shit list.
I'm done with all the Uncle Tom token blacks. Like, you're not that smart. You're not even that conservative.
Even the most qualified, educated people want to dabble into ninjatry. You know, it's not a lot of us saying this. And the ones that say it, we get called Uncle Tom coon sellouts. We get shamed for marrying white women or whatever the case may be. So I feel like it's a slight minority of us that are with it. Unfortunately, 51% is probably need to get on board.
So there you have it, folks.
Like
Lame duck number 8.
Wow.
Trash bag human.
Beyond trash bag.
Officer Brandon Tatum. I don't use the word coon, folks. Y'all know I don't like that word because I understand the historical context. But I may have to make an exception just this one time. you actively created a channel Again, you got hundreds of thousands to follow. Where all you do every day, every fucking day, all you do is talk about
Black
what
bash.
niggas do.
Black bash.
The king of the groypers, Nick Fuentes, come out and call you out.
Yep.
And now you cop and plead.
Mm-hmm.
He's a racist. It's not all black people. No, he called you a you know it's real bad, folks. If the white man call you an Uncle Tom,
right?
It's over with after that. It's over with.
That was just so.
The white man called you an Uncle Tom.
You called him a token.
I'm tired of the Uncle Tom token Negro.
Yeah.
Cosplaying Maca.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yep. He said.
Wow.
And now I went on his channel when I was doing research for the Duck. Literally 4 out of the last 5 at that particular time was him copping pleas about this damn Nick Fuentes video. He's doing everything that he can to try to explain himself. Everything that he can.
Damage control.
So the Duck put me to task this week.
Yeah, he definitely deserved it.
So what y'all got on it? I'm gonna let y'all go.
I was gonna say this. I saw a video or clip or something where Nick Fuentes was like waiting in line for black people chicken. You know what I mean? He waited all day for the chicken. He was sitting there chopping it up with black people, having a good old time, drinking lemonade.
So let me say this.
Yeah.
I don't think Nick Fuentes is playing a character. You understand that, right?
Right.
Nick Fuentes is just as a grifter as this dude.
Yep.
But the thing is, Nick Fuentes has done captured the hearts and the minds of racist black people all over the country. and they look at him as this Jesus-like figure. Because look at all they done canceled Nick Fuentes, kicked his ass off YouTube, kicked his ass off social media. They look at him as a hero. That's just a fact. I don't think Nick Fuentes think none of this. Nick Fuentes literally talk like a black person. Let's do him speak. You can hear the influence of blackness in the way that he talk.
Yeah.
He's not even white. You know he's Mexican, right?
Mexican.
He's not even white.
Wow. Wow. That's a deeper level.
He had a hard time stopping himself from saying nigga. Running for what he's doing, running for like some political shit or some shit. How he's like, it's a real struggle. I was like, cuz.
So yeah, Nick, I don't believe shit Nick Fuentes say. Nick Fuentes is like, man, let me make some money too off these white folks, and he's successful. But y'all continue.
I got nothing else to say. Fuck Brandon Taylor.
Right.
I got you know he's the most. He does the most taping I've ever seen in life. And who was he talking with? Who was he talking with? What is that? What was that other?
Jason Whitlock. Jason Whitlock.
Yeah. Oh my God, he's so ugly. He's so worse too. They're all bad.
Jesse Lee Peterson.
I don't know what kind of pleas he's copied. I gotta find that out. How can he explain that?
So AMD, he getting his nigga wake up call.
If that's what you want to call it, but I don't even look at it as a nigga wake up call. I look at it as walking the green mile, because I was looking at some stuff. His subscriber count done went down. Folks, you know what I'm saying? Because you gotta, it's not us watching this nigga. It's white people.
Yeah.
It ain't us looking at no damn Brandon Tatum.
Hell.
So they done said my racist Lord and Savior Nick Fuentes called you an Uncle Tom and a grifter. So I can no longer support you. So, there you go. Go ahead, Van Cat.
Well, all I got to say is, my God, this is a definite trash bag human that deserves this spot. Number 8 variety. Ah, man, this guy is a coon.
Yep.
This guy is everything under the moon that you don't want to be when you're black like that. And it's important to highlight these kinds of niggas here because these are the type of niggas that just making life much more tougher for all other black people in this world because they're trying to enrich themselves while selling out everybody else. And he earned this spot for sure, man. But it's not just him, We got, Candace Owens is in there too.
Yep.
She done earned a reputation. She done did some
a previous duck. What was she, number 6, I believe?
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a lot of them out here. There's a lot. Willie D made a whole series of coons.
Yeah.
Called out Michael Jordan, called out Charles Barkley, called out Steve Harvey. But yeah, we need more of this. We need more. We need to profile more of these niggas because they make life not worth a damn. So yeah, this is definitely a appropriate trash bag human of the week.
Go ahead, Ricardo.
I have nothing else to say. If you have nothing good to say nothing at all. I'm just gonna leave it at what it was. But that was just beyond. I don't even know what to summarize that as. That's just I'm done.
MD, he's beyond it. He's a super cool, and he's swooping in the same day for them crackers.
Damn. Yeah. For you to try to rationalize now obviously you understand what racism is. You understand the concept of racism.
Yes.
But for you to try to rationalize it under the guise of only a percentage, like in the video, he was Nick Fuentes was talking just generally about black people. Then he interjected and said in Chicago. Niggas is only in certain geographical areas. And this nigga said, I went to Birmingham and everybody was nice in Birmingham. Birmingham is nigga town.
Right.
You could make a case. You could make a case as far as the condensity of Birmingham is probably worse than Chicago.
Yep.
Like ain't nothing gonna happen to you in Birmingham, Alabama. Niggas get shot every day in Birmingham.
Every day.
So you don't even understand the reality in which you try to speak about. I can't make heads or tails of it. So the duck put me to task. The duck put me to task, and I chose a savory dish that he could feast on for the week. So, he gonna be eating on Brandon Tatum for a little minute. Pause. So with that being said, that's tonight's show. Hey, next week we getting back to regular scheduled program. Hey, Backhat, I just tell you this, bro.
Yeah.
Next week, I'm going to make a case. Now, just listen to me. Next week, I'm going to make a case that under Trump's administration, this is the closest that we've been to communism in this country's history. I'm going to make that case. Also, Van Cat, I got to have a conversation with you. Have you seen what's going on with the Brian Tyler Cohen and the David Pakman controversy? Have you seen any of that?
No, I didn't. No, I did not.
Well, that's your homework assignment for this week.
Okay.
I want to hear what you got to say about it. Now, I got a feeling that we may agree, but I'll tell you right now, when it comes to full aggressive, Van Cat, I'm waging all-out war. No longer am I going to placate to the full aggressive. I'm done with them.
What did the full aggressive
We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about the People's Republic of the United States of America, is the United States closer than ever before to being a communist country? That's what we're going to talk about next week. That plus the news. So I'll see y'all next week. Hey, look, hey, good show. Hey, appreciate Che and Lady Che for coming through.
Yes, sir.
You know, I said, I told you, all niggas was invited for this particular episode. If you was a nigga, you was invited.
Man,
So
Black is real.
Right.
So you know, it was a good show. Everybody subscribe to
Frontline Black News.
Frontline Black News. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Everybody subscribe to Frontline Black News.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna try to make a conscious effort to be over there because I know y'all be doing shows. Sometimes it be like mid afternoon for me. Sometimes it be late, but I'm gonna make a conscious effort to get over there as much as possible. So,
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
No doubt.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Hey,
Thank you guys for showing up on the show today.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
sir. Thank you guys.
No problem.
Thank you.
And for my regulars, man, y'all give y'all closing, man, and we out of here.
All right. Great show again. Thanks to Che and Lady Che. And next week, it's going back to regularly scheduled programming, like MD said. Looking forward to seeing Ricardo. Hopefully we get to see Mike. Mike is right. Hopefully he'll show up next week. And it's going to be another one.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sorry for the late arrivals. Got a lot of shit happening today. But great show. We always blackity black up in here. We can't hide the fact that we have different variations of black, but you know, at the end of the day, we're fighting an all-out war, which is all the same. You know, so I prefer to say we all should be unison. Yes, we should fall in line sometimes when it comes to things. Reparation is not our war. You know, for the people that are coming from the Caribbean side, you know, we still give homage and respect to the black folks that have been here and who have done the deed of progressing the country. We've been influenced by their music in the Caribbean as much as we act like we don't. And yes, you guys have a culture, we have ours, but at the end of the day, you know, black progress. I don't want to call it how MD call it, full progressive or whatever you want to call it. Black progression is the thing. Representation matters. Stand up, black people, when it comes to certain circumstances where y'all feel like you shouldn't be speaking up. And like I said, when it comes to maternity, black women in general, y'all need to, black men and women need to start putting their foot down, get a second opinion about things, and always never not feel afraid to always second guess when it comes to if you feel uncomfortable. Speak up, put your foot down. That is your job. You have that right in this country to do so. Great show. Absolutely fantastic. Look forward to the next show. Thank you, Sir Jay and Lady Shea for coming through. And for all you black folks that are out there that didn't want to come on, don't be afraid to come up and speak up. You know, Tape Fist Politics is for everybody, including, you know, the MAGA crew that's over, you know, the other parts of the country. Come on, we're not gonna bite y'all. We have a great discussion. That's the whole point of having opinions. And at the end of the day, we depart and go about our business. But great show. Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, we taping up our fists. And we putting some glass on the fists.
Hey, Ricardo, you ain't never called your kids demon spawn and no shit. I do it all the time.
I mean, when they rob me up and get me upset, of course I'm gonna find ways. I mean, are you kidding me?
MD Rampage.
Trouble, man.
MD Rampage.
I call them demon spawn from the depths of hell.
All
type of shit.
Yes, sir.
Rampage Amy. Rampage MD.
Hey, all right, man. We out of here. Hey, with that, peace, y'all.
Yep. Peace.
Quack.